Testing, testing, testing. It is saying my bit rate is low and everything is just not receiving enough. I don't know why. Um, I don't know why. Everything is slow though. Hmm. I don't know why it's happening this way. Do I have like too much stuff open? We are officially done with our paid promotion. So we did very, very well for the uh Uno. Uh just want to let everybody know that we did very, very well. I don't know why it's still saying that because I do not like it when it's has a low bit rate. My OBS is fine. It's not telling me anything different. Um and if you are patiently waiting for me to start, uh I thank you, thank you, thank you. I if I open the widget, what's it gonna do? It will probably pick up later in the stream that everything evens out. Um but like my Twitch evened out. Um okay. Now I'm just waiting for YouTube to catch up. That's all I'm waiting for. Um Anyway, so this is what we are going to be doing for today because I'm still setting up for a little bit. And I'm gonna need to ask for your patience on this one. We are gonna be watching something that Vince Russo reacted with another content creator, which, we're gonna see how that goes. We're gonna talk a little bit about WWE Raw. Um, and we're probably gonna watch some of the stuff that happened, like some of the segments. And we're definitely going to be watching Undertaker's podcast as well, and then that's gonna be it for the day. Unless like somebody wants to like show me something and like, we'll watch it. But um Discord is open. I have a Discord now. You could do exclamation point Discord. There's a lot of cool features that like I added like right before this stream started. So we'll get into that. I'll show you the new merchandise that I have up on my website as well if you guys want to get some merchandise. And even like go through fourth wall in order to get discounted on the memberships, and you could gift through Twitch for it. I wish they had like a partnership with YouTube as well. Hopefully that might be in the works one day, but who knows. Um as always, if you are just tuning in, give me a couple more moments to actually get situated and then we'll start. Hit that like button. It sends this live stream into the atmosphere of YouTube, and that definitely helps us out. It really does. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do, and I'll be right back. Sorry, guys. We had a little bit of a hiccup. OBS just decided to disconnect and reconnect. And I am going to turn on my camera in a little bit. There is some stuff that I want to go over because I didn't really get the chance to um, respond to them. There's some comments on the videos. Um, and I'm also waiting for my headset to basically charge. It's taking longer than usual. I swear, man. That's the best that we're gonna be doing with like the light. I should turn on my one spotlight just because. Um, how's everybody doing, first of all? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for spending time with me. Hey, Luca, what's up? Hey, Raheem. Yes, you guys are in here. Thank you for the likes while I was away. I appreciate you guys so much. There's just stuff I want to get through. And show you guys some new stuff. And just remind you guys that you can, what do you call it? Like sub here, support here, and all this kind of stuff. It's basically like housekeeping notes. But yeah, I think I should turn on like my living room light. Um, Give me a second because I know that this here is not really going to be a problem at the moment. It's only when like the sun ends up like going down, but I need like more light coming on top. However you want to take that. Okay. Um, this might need to go a little bit up. There we go. I think that looks better. That looks absolutely way better. Okay, so um like I said in the beginning of this is that they don't call you the Shadow Queen for nothing. I mean, I've never dubbed myself that. So, I mean, that's a first, dude. I never dubbed myself that. I haven't even told the world that like I'm officially live. But I do thank you guys for being here and checking in. I will say that we're going to do some reactions and comments to certain things. I'm gonna show you guys the Discord again, maybe, and then like the new merch that I have up. And if you're over on the Twitch side, this pertains to you. One of these days, Fourth Wall is going to end up um making a partnership with YouTube, which I really hope that they do. The only thing that I can get through Fourth Wall with YouTube is like the YouTube shop, but because we are not partners just yet, we're getting there. We are getting there. Um because we're not YouTube partners just yet, I can't hook up the store over to my merchandise and stuff like that. Uh Let me go and tell people that I am live. Wait, did I see something? We're gonna make today a Vince Russo day. That is what we're gonna do. We're gonna make today a Vince Russo day. There are some videos that I want to watch and hear his take and hear his co-host's take and stuff like that. But we're gonna make it a Vince Russo day along with like if you see in the title it says charity wrestling. What it's a specific video. Okay, it's a specific video that we're gonna be watching. I saved it just for today, just for us, so we can look at it. I am probably gonna get some hate and I'm probably gonna get some heat, but that's totally okay. I'm just reacting to it just because I want to react to it and see other people's reactions. And that's all it is. Because reacting, giving commentary. We're changing the medium that we're watching. We're changing the video that we're watching by giving commentary on it. Um By the way, it is a Tuesday. I feel like today is gonna be like a little bit of a slow day, which is totally okay. Um, hey Courtney, how's it going? Thank you for joining me over on the Twitch side of things. I hope everything is well. Um, okay. Um, I just realized that this thing might have um since it restarted everything. I don't know if it gave everybody like a second ping. Really? Uh Hi Vortex. I'll be right back, guys. All right, so let's do this. Hey Denisha, how's it going? Thank you for joining. Um uh awesome Courtney. Awesome. All right, so this is what we are going to be doing first. Let me get up some comments that I want to respond to like in a video format. And in no way shape or form am I bringing up these comments on the YouTube videos, right? Uh like I love the comments that I get, and I think that we should dive in a little bit more. We should dive in a little bit more deeper into the comments. Um, other than like me just leaving it. I know I should like respond to the comments because I do that with everybody. I respond to it. I just haven't gotten around to it. Um, so okay. But these are very good thought provoking comments, and that's why I want to react to it. Oh, I don't. Can I pull this up? Oh, I could pull that up. Awesome. I didn't know that. Uh, okay. So this comment here on the I don't know how like clear you guys can see it, but I'm gonna read it out. So you can follow along that way. But oops, hold on. Let me make sure that there's no one in the comments saying something because I don't want to miss any of your comments. Okay, cool. Um awesome. Let's go and read this. So this is on the reacting to like Jim Cornette's take on what do you call it? On the whole situation and Hangman and Swerve and whatnot, right? So the only reason why I'm pointing this out is because James, if you see this, again, no hate, but he brings up a very good logical point that I'm like, this is what we should be focusing on, okay? If it wasn't for Brian Alvarez like being on Wrestling Observer and like saying as if it's a fact that John Moxley on his break went home and was like, "Yeah, I'm going to watch these movies." Like if he didn't say it as a fact as if like someone told him directly, and there's multiple people to confirm. We don't know yet, okay? We don't know if this is true or not, that when Moxie was on his break, he decided to watch all these films and wanted to do an inspirational sort of character like this, which I think it's not needed in 2024. If you have not learned yet how to get over with a crowd in 2024, then you're doing wrestling wrong. You do not need to always go back so deep into the past when, you know, you'll say that, oh, nostalgia this, nostalgia this. Why is you know, fans wanting nostalgia, or even going so deep to try and like do something nitty and gritty to prove that you're tough. It's like, no, dude, we're in 2024. There are different ways for you to tell a story. There's different ways for you to connect with a character. You don't need to go down the route that myself and others in the content creation space are fearing, because I don't think we want our content to be known as anything with a political label in this like climate that we're currently in the United States. This does not apply to anywhere else outside the United States, just inside the United States, because the moment that you make that turn to talk about a character that Moxley has tried to put on TV, which he has, you know, even if like we don't know if it's true or not, it's kind of like we don't want that for our content. And then if it doesn't get covered, you know, they're gonna be like, oh, well, you know, you never cared about that, you know. Yeah, definitely. Oh boy, Mox. And then hey, what up, LC Killer? I don't think, no, I didn't say hi to you yet. What's up, man? How's it going? Civil War is coming. Listen, I don't want that. I don't want um I definitely do not want to cover that. Like, I don't really have to cover it, and I know someone is going to be like, "Oh, well, you just said it, you know, you don't have to." But to bring awareness, that's the only reason why like I'm covering this, to bring awareness of like this should not be happening. There is a way to do social commentary as a character about the current issues and the current landscape, but do you really want to do that when what's really on the line is a TV deal for AEW, and to make sure that you get paid, because money eventually runs out, you know? Even you could even tell that the freaking Jaguars are not even doing that well. Tony Khan was like, "Hey, we're going to give you guys a free match." You know, for all the fans, for all the Jaguar fans, that'll be cool. We'll give you guys a free match because we know, you know, the Jaguars suck at right now. By the way, I don't know football that well, but I'm just saying that from everybody that I've watched, and they talk about football, you know, they don't really like the Jaguars. So, you know, um, but other than that, like, uh, the reason why I want to bring up Jane's point, because in a logical wrestling promotion and world, if AEW was logical, if AEW understood how to, you know, tell a story and have characters that could get over, and, you know, all the stuff that we want, because the sickos on the other side don't know what they want, and they want to just hate WWE for the sake of hating WWE, and then they yell at us saying that we just hate to hate. No, 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 no. We're not hating to hating. We want this to improve. So this is what James had to say. I haven't watched all three mock segments, and there is nothing there skinheaded related. If all it takes to get people nervous are words like diplomacy in a promo and the dirt sheets referring to a movie, then wrestling fandom is dead. It's really not, because I'm gonna say what I said before in the beginning of my little like speech here. You do not want your content to be labeled something that you never really went down and explored and basically presented to your audience. You have to know your audience. Your audience is wrestling fans, and in certain stages you have to let your audience know that this is kayfabe, this is fake. However, when you're dealing with something that is traumatic within, sorry, not without, definitely not without, when you are trying to reference traumatic events throughout, there's the word, throughout American history, and try to put that on the screen in order to try to get over in 2024, knowing that we're currently in wars, knowing that people are upset, knowing that people are frustrated, knowing that like there's a whole bunch of turmoil going on. I don't think going down a skinhead related character is the right option or is the right storytelling. He could have did it without like, trying to be this tough guy, wearing certain clothes, having certain mannerisms, and it does not help that Brian Alvarez said it himself, and we have it on audio, that according to him, that John Moxley watched the movie Romper Stomper to get the inspiration. We don't need this in 2024, and we don't need our content to be labeled as such. If, you know, I can't say if that's like not included, but like I don't think wrestling content creators want that label, because once you get that label, it might be a little difficult to get that label off of your content when none of your content has anything to do with like political stuff that's currently happening in the current day climate, if that makes any sense, yo, Brian, what's up? How's it going, man? Yeah, I really don't want to go down that rabbit hole. So again, I'm just bringing awareness that, this is not what we need. However, this is where James makes the very, very good point of like what I really want to point out. People are overreacting and also ignoring the obvious. We may be overreacting, but like I want to make sure that people understand that if your content gets labeled a certain way, that's it. Especially if you're not like for that type of label. Look at the new BCC. What do Mox, Claudio, Pac, and Shafir all have in common? All four are ex-WWE talents, and what is the big buzz? The meeting between Tony Khan and Shane McMahon. I still think that's Photoshop. I've said it before, it's Photoshop. I will say it always that the Shane McMahon and Tony Khan picture is Photoshopped. It is. Because I remember Shane McMahon had tweeted out that exact same photo, exact same room, exact same lighting, exact same gritty nitty, and he's over there posing on the chair the way he is, and then someone just photoshopped Tony Khan in there. Like, I really don't think that it was an actual meeting. They could say it was, but I don't really think it was like that. They may have had time in between the flights before they went on their flight to go wherever they needed to go, but I still think that Shane McMahon and the Tony Khan meeting was like photoshopped. But see, that is the wrestling logic, that Mox, Claudia, Pac, and Shafir, they all have the WWE label in common. I would have been totally fine if Mox presented his new BCC group as we are the rejects that never got over in WWE, or whatever the hell he wants to put it as. Like, I would have been okay with that. If they are in fact doing an invasion angle with Shane, then it would be incredibly stupid for Shane O'Mac's posse to include people not associated with the E as such an early stage. That's true. Even if this has nothing to do with Shane as of right now, there is nothing radically related in this presentation. It is. It's the perception, and one of the other repliers also said the same thing too, that like it's about perception. Because you have Alvarez, just talking about it and presenting it as fact because he was so sure of himself, and he probably still is sure of himself. It's the perception. Even if something is not like radically related to something, it's a perception of it, and people always goes based on the perception of what they see, what they hear, and like even through the grapevine and stuff like that. So it's about perception more than presentation, because even if something so little as a presentation, it may not end up being like what do you call it, related to anything, but somebody could connect the dots, right? And that's how we end up getting like conspiracy theories. But it's about presentation. It's about perception more than presentation. Okay. If that changes, I'll gladly admit I was wrong for giving AEW the benefit of the doubt, but I honestly do not see that, unless people are taking Cesaro's baldness and the fact Mox has been losing his hair for years into account. Even then, I still do not see it yet. I totally get that, where people can be like, just because they're bald doesn't mean X, Y, and Z. And I totally get that. People, end up wanting to go bald for a lot of different reasons. And sometimes that should not be factored into like the presentation. But again, it's the perspective of what's being presented on television, and people who have big mouths who don't want to confirm or deny and just be like, oh yeah, he was watching this movie. Well, sir, how do you know he was watching this movie? Huh? Like, who told you? Were you texting Mox to be like, hey, do you have any good movie recommendations? And the fact that this was a Russell Crowe movie in like the 90s, right? And it's like, man, how would Alvarez know and pinpoint exactly what movie that is to just casually be like, oh yeah, it's Romper Stomper. Oh yeah, that's the movie he's watching for the inspiration of his character. Oh yeah, that's definitely the movie. Like, no one is gonna know that. Like, that was very, very specific, and that is what makes it very, very suspicious that either somebody told him or he had a lucky guess. But other than that, like, very, very, very suspicious. But again, James, if you see this, no disrespect to you. It is a very wonderful comment to the video. I do welcome comments to any of the videos, by the way, if you don't know. But I just want to answer it in a video format rather than like type it all up. But in a logical world, I would have been very, very like at ease with that, because all of these wrestlers are coming together. They have the ex WWE thing in common, and therefore go with an invasion angle. Even though I think that it might be too late for an invasion angle, but it's a very good comment. And I would definitely love to, like, I wish that I could go down that way, but everybody in AEW wants you to have all these different ideas about what AEW is, what this character is, what this person is doing. Like, you have to put it together, and that's not what wrestling is supposed to be. Wrestling is a TV show where you tell the audience, this is character A. Character A is a good guy. Character B is a bad guy. This is their childhood trauma or whatever. This is what's keeping oh my god, this is what's keeping wrestler A, the babyface, from achieving his goals, because wrestler B, the villain, doesn't want the babyface to get the goals. Like, the villain thinks that the babyface is not worthy or whatever it is. Like, you have to tell us these things. Imagine if like a TV show was like, oh no, you got to figure it out. You got to put the pieces together. You could put whatever you want inside the story, even if like that's not of truth. You could do this, you could do that. You don't have to worry about baby faces and heels. You don't have to worry about logical storylines or make anything make sense. That is AEW. And imagine if like an actual TV show followed that. That would be a disaster. A disaster. That would be such a disaster if that were to happen. But then again, this is what AEW caters to, is that they think that by doing this, they're not insulting the fans, but sometimes you do need, excuse me, you do need to tell the fans, oh, this is what's happening. This is the route that we're going, and it's okay, it's okay to do that. But with something like this is something that needs clarification. But everyone that wants access to AEW are not going to ask Tony Khan about, hey, Alvarez said all this stuff and he said it with confidence. Can you tell us if this is what Moxley is doing? And if so, why did you approve it in 2024, knowing the climate atmosphere that we're currently in? Like, why would you want to do that? And then, of course, over here is to look up the movie and the synopsis. And James is like, fair enough, he'll do that, which I appreciate that from both James and Anthony as well. There is another one here that I wanted to go over, which is Anthony. Again, guys, if you're watching this right now or the VOD, just know that this is not done in like any type of malice or any type of it's to build conversation. Okay, it's to build conversation. And no, I am not mad at any of these comments. These comments are legit. You know, they are legit. They are conversation starters, and that's why I want to talk about it more. Um, this one says, so according to Stevie, what worked in the Attitude Era back then should work now. Basically, he's saying he wants everything to stay the same and nothing evolved. Can you imagine turning on a show and knowing how long a match was going to be? And when I finish your hits, it was over. I'm sorry. That's like going into season 30 of a TV series where you've seen it all. You have to evolve with wrestling. You can't be stuck in the past. While I do understand that you have to evolve with wrestling, you can't be stuck in the past. I totally get that. But for the major point of this is that less is more, and telling stories is way better than trying to really maim and or kill your opponent, because you're not supposed to do that. I don't understand in general wrestling fans who are like, we gotta move forward, we gotta progress, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. Wrestlers gotta put 110% on the line. If not, they're not real wrestlers. And it's like, why do you want wrestlers to hurt themselves? Why do you want wrestlers to not wake up in the morning and go on to the great beyond? Or why do you not want wrestlers to wake up and feel good? Why do you want wrestlers to wake up and feel sore? Because you're not going to feel sore. You're not in that ring. You're not taking those bumps. You're not taking that chair shot. You're not taking anything that the wrestler is taking in the ring, but yet then you want the wrestler to suffer for your selfish enjoyment. And you think that, uh that's the way to go. Stevie Richards was saying that um that I don't want to say that he was saying to be smarter. I would say that. I would say to be smarter in professional wrestling, but what worked in the Attitude Era was a different time. That time was, we did not know about CTE. We did not know about um we did not know about all the stuff that we know today, the conditions, and yet then he's not saying that we should go back to the Attitude Era or like not go back to the Attitude Era. It was more like, this is what happened in the Attitude Era. This is how we cannot like go back in a way. um and staying the same means to like be safer, be healthier, because like doing all that takes years off your career, doing cage matches, doing death matches, doing like really super out there hardcore matches. That takes years off of your career, and we want everybody in AEW to have a very long career. Is that so much to ask for? Is that really bad to ask about? Really, really bad, is it? So while like I get your comment, and I do agree that like, wrestling should evolve with the times and we shouldn't be stuck in the past, but at the same time, less is more, be safer. And by the way, back in the day, all the way back in the day in the territories, they always used to announce, this match is scheduled for 15 minutes. This match is scheduled for 20 minutes. This championship title match is scheduled for 60 minutes with a like a, what is it? One pinfall, right? So yeah, basically everybody knew how long matches were back in the day. For some reason, we don't say it all the time, but people didn't know how long the matches were. You have a certain amount of time to get through. You don't have to go through all your shit because you want to build suspense for the next match over and over and over again, right? You don't want to run through your entire move set and then repeat your entire move set because you have 45 minutes to fill in or 20 minutes to fill in or 60 minutes to fill in. Like, you don't want to do all that kind of stuff, right? So you have to like save most of your moveset for the next match if there were to be a next match in the feud. So, back in the day, they used to tell people that this match is scheduled for one fall with a 15-minute time limit, with a 20-minute time limit, 25-minute time limit. And if for championship matches, it was like 60 minutes. Okay. They would tell anybody there, they would tell them that. Um, the comments, you know, it's more like, uh, AEW really de-evolved when they put on their cage match and then also trying to suffocate a man. Like, I just really think that they really did that. Um like, it's okay to know how a match is going to go, because sometimes it might end up surprising you. Um for from LC Killer, AEW is WWE living rent free in their heads all the time, even the fans. AEW is creative bankrupt. It is creative bankrupt, and they have a supposed AEW TV deal like on the table still. And it's like, yo, your sponsors are not gonna like any of that stuff, And again, if you want me to go over sponsorships, I can go over sponsorships, because it seems like people who don't like what I have to say will give me an emotional essay over the gimmick chair. I will say it again, and I will always say it again. You cannot gimmick a plastic and or metal chair. Venues have plastic and metal chairs. Even if your chair were to somehow end up being a rubber chair, that still hurts. You still do not want to directly take a rubber chair and hit your opponent over the head without protection, because that can still hurt, cause damage. We are fragile creatures in this life. That's why we only have one life in this life on this planet we call Earth. So I don't understand why fans are like, oh my God, you can gimmick a chair and they'll be okay and they'll live longer. And that's not the case. But for some reason, people will give me an emotional essay over a chair than sponsorships, because they're not content creators and not streamers. They don't know what the details are. And I gave a very hefty detail about the differences between sponsorships and affiliate sponsorships and brand sponsorships, and how all that shit works, how the inside of it works. No other wrestling content creator is giving you that information, because everybody likes to keep stuff hush hush, which I get it. I totally get it. However, it's still one of those things of like, if people are gonna talk out their ass about it, you better like teach them about it, right? So for most of the time, a lot of the fans online talk out their ass about the gimmick chair, and then talk out their ass about AEW does have sponsors. I'll show you. And that's not a knock at Stevie, but that's like the only line that came to mind that like it flowed very, very, very well. But AEW doesn't have sponsors. They have like the ads that play during picture in picture, but those are like from the network. It's not from anything else. It's not like in addition to the network ads, AEW is sponsored by such and such. It's not that. For some reason, like, I don't understand why wrestling fans want to stay in their bubble of listening to people who don't know what they're talking about, and then give an emotional essay to people that do know what they're talking about, and constantly study stuff, constantly look at things online, talk to people, and like get an idea for these kinds of things. It's called, like, it's you want to be a student of the game, right? And if you want to be a student of the game, you have to really go out there and ask people and talk to people and like take notes and basically teach yourself about this stuff. But again, I always get emotional essays for a gimmick chair, but no emotional essays for a sponsorships or brand sponsorships, affiliate sponsorships, and stuff like that. So that's that. There's no other comments that I really want to like go over. It was just those two, which were underneath that. But again, no shade to those guys. Do not give them any type of hate. Do not respond to them in any way that it is very, very bad. But I just wanted to explain my point and my idea in a bigger, larger setting where it is video, where I could talk about it rather than typing about it. But yeah, I think that is everything. Um okay. Give me a second here. Why is this um oh, nope, wrong thing. Okay. So, if you guys don't know, I have a Fourth Wall account. In my opinion, Fourth Wall is better than Patreon. Before I continue, LC says I think AEW fans don't want sponsor because they don't want the product to be like chanced, meaning like you don't want them to uh oh, so okay, I think I get it. I don't know. That's very interesting. I just think that AEW fans think that they are above everybody, that they know more than everybody, and that they don't want AEW to get sponsorships because they don't understand. Oh, they don't want the product to be changed. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. I totally get that now. I don't really think they like. I understand that if you do get a sponsor, you end up having to change your stuff. However, change is not a bad thing. It really isn't. You know, we're not saying for AEW when they get a sponsorship to automatically go to PG. We're not saying that, and we wouldn't want that to like happen. But like, you don't need all that violence. You got to learn how to tell a story. You got to learn how to connect with the fans. You got to learn how to fill those 15,000 to 20,000 seat arenas. If working smaller venues help, then work smaller venues. But AEW fans, like I said, think that they are above everyone else in the community. That's because of Tony Khan, because you have at the top the supposed leadership, but he doesn't know what leadership is. He just likes to let everybody walk on him, and it's like, bro, like grow, grow something. Um, and then to label fans as sickos and don't reprimand fans and reprimand himself for the stuff that happens online, which by the way, he's been very, very quiet in attacking fans. You see that, right? But I just don't think AEW fans understand how sponsorship works and how TV network works, even though they listen to everybody talk about it. They rather give emotional essays to people who were there, who have like firsthand experiences with TV networks. Uncle Dave does not have experience with TV networks firsthand. You could talk to TV executives, but that does not mean that you have firsthand experience being in that room. If you are in that room, then you have the experience. If you're not in that room and you're doing like Zoom calls, phone calls, you're essentially like third party. So you don't really have that experience. And then like AEW fans just don't have the knowledge about sponsorships and affiliate sponsorships, and that's why I go out of my way to be like, let me tell you guys, let me teach you guys. And it's just one of those things of like AEW fans, just don't think that none of that applies to them, and they think that their favorite TV show is going to stay on the air forever. Like, I don't know where this disconnect came from when it comes to the years that we've seen wonderful TV shows, and then all of a sudden, depending on like the network that they're on, they're like, oh no, we're cutting it. such and such TV show is not getting renewed for season 2 because of low ratings. How many times have we heard that in the past like 3 years? You know, I think that AEW fans think that doesn't apply to like wrestling shows, because it seems like Warner Brothers Discovery is not really paying attention to AEW at the moment, so they're doing whatever they're doing, and I guess they're not really thinking about how that would affect their TV deal. But the moment that like everything goes through, if the deal does get done, congratulations to them. But then there's probably going to be some restrictions. Jim Cornette talked about the restrictions of like what TNT was doing to, like, what was it, WCW, when I was watching the video. And I think I was watching it like on my time. I don't know if I was watching it. Oh no, I was watching it with you guys. Yeah, because in chat everyone was like AEW just failed the test. Which you guys could go back to the previous live stream and like watch it. But Warner Bros. Discovery lost so much money that now they have to scramble and be like, what are we gonna do? So I don't really think that they're going to offer AEW a lot of money. So I don't know how he's gonna keep those contracts very like lucrative. But yeah, I just think that, change is not always a bad thing. Change could be a good thing, and if AEW did change, it'll be for the better and for a prosperous AEW if they decide to change. But nobody over there wants to change, so that's where it is. Now, on to Fourth Wall. Again, if you guys don't know about Fourth Wall, like, I really enjoy Fourth Wall. It is an alternative to like Patreon and coffee and whatnot. So it's basically a website that houses memberships and merchandise. And I added some new merchandise that I want to show you guys. But again, this is way better to me than Patreon. You guys get a little info about like what I used to do in WWE right here. It's right here. I've also had emotional essays from females, because females like to get in the last word and females like to always be right. Especially certain females in the wrestling community that will just be like, I'm gonna put you down for no reason, and because you talk bad about my favorite wrestler. Like, I've experienced it all. I have. But this is my background and stuff like that. So you get to find out a little bit, about me. But it's right here. I never really took it out. Um, and then these are just pictures of like what I do, my vlogs. These are all like the photos that I took going to and from WWE in 2018. The tickets for going to WWE and working at WWE and going on the Metro North. This is for the vlog that I did in Nutley, New Jersey. These were the NXT, SmackDown, and like some Raw episodes that I did and that I worked on right here. And then this is Goddesses of War. When I was this was when I was doing the vlogging for Goddesses of War before I did the commentary. So I was with a good group of ladies. I miss Goddesses. This is some more stuff. This is me doing commentary. Me at Titan over here. Having to see Lance and Juicy getting a picture with all the Usos. I really do am a huge fan of Jacob. I have an interview with Ray Jazz. This is the 2023 wrestling planner. The 2023 one, because it's a little bit bigger than the smaller one. And then with the other Sean Maluda, the time that New Japan Pro Wrestling, I won a signed Okada towel. So I have a signed Okada towel. But Okada, what are you doing at AEW? Whenever I am media press for MLW, this is this. The wrestling seminar that I went to, my notes for Wrestle Kingdom 14, me actually training. Those are bruises after running the ropes. Your arm tends to like get bruised, but I loved it, man. Like, it was fantastic. This was day 2 of wrestling training. Some more show notes. And then we have, discover your next obsession, whether that is me talking about the one-sided partnership between New Japan Pro Wrestling and AEW, and New Japan right now is suffering, man, suffering. Um, it is so suffering. I feel so bad. You could get currently right now the tumblers that have the star rated on it is currently out. It's sold out. That I'm waiting for Fourth Wall to like get more in so that people can buy it. And then the picture of the wrestling planner. And then you have are you a member and then wrestling swag, right? So if we scroll down, you can now become a member of my community. All I have right now is Discord member at the moment. I will be adding more stuff, like more perks. If anybody in this chat, hey Akeem Webb, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for joining. How are you doing? Welcome to the chat and welcome to uh the stream. If you what do you call it? What was I saying? Uh Oh yeah, if you guys have any ideas for any kind of perks that you like that other content creators have done, drop them in the chat or on the VOD. Leave me a comment so that way I know, because I don't know what people like when it comes to perks. I do have the Discord that I have that I would like everybody to like come along for the Discord ride, because I want my community together. I feel like we're all scattered, and every time I'm like, hey, I'm live, I want to make sure that people don't miss out on it. So if you guys have any perk ideas, by all means drop them in the chat very quickly. Hopefully I see them, hopefully they don't go away. um I will be adding like a suggestion box on the Discord, so I guess I could leave it there as well. But yeah, if you guys have any like ideas on perks, let me know. um Oh yeah, also, if you are a sub on Twitch, you guys can also get Twitch subs receive this promotional price as long as they're subscribed on Twitch. So instead of paying $4.99 a month, even though you can save to pay like annually for it, you could get a discount at $4.74 and then a discount over here for $12.82 for that for the VIP. My plans is that like the starter will be just like a general help, and then the VIP will include a lot more stuff. The VIP will definitely help with maybe I was thinking about keeping Discord Nitro so we can like watch stuff in the community and do some community stuff and whatnot. All of that takes like effort and money and stuff, but these are the two that I have right now. You could also save 15% annually if you want to. Um, and then the merchandise. This is the feature product, star rated. Look at all these stars. Fall and winter are coming, so like you might want to, get one of these and cuddle up. And if you want to, you know, the Uncle Dave thing of like you are, you're 7 stars, man. You gotta treat yourself as 7 stars. It's also available in blue as well. So that's that. I made a cup with some old, not really old, but these are like, wrestling all day, every day. Um, Designs. I basically do all my designs. Everything is original from me, by me. So just want to let you guys know that everything is original. Um, Here's a sticker. Here's some buttons. I think people still like buttons. I made one notebook. It's gonna show you that it's gray, but it's actually white. This is the tumbler that is currently sold out. I'm still waiting for them to get stuff. This is my first ever design that I made, which is bump, flex, train, repeat. That was when I was doing the wrestling training. So if anybody out there wants to feel empowered when you're training to be a wrestler, bump, flex, train, repeat is for you. We have my sticker that I made. This I don't feel very confident about, and that's me being honest. So, it's Square Circle Podcast Global. I've been rusty on making original designs, and this is still an original design. It's just, to me, it's very rusty. The star rated long sleeve. If you want to have coffee in the morning that says star rated on it, because you know you are 7 stars no matter what. If you want to get the shirts, they all come 1 through 7. So 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You know, you could grab the whole entire collection, which would be freaking awesome, and you can wear them on any day of the week. And then this here is just Square Circle Podcast, Marie Shadows. And then if you want to get the short sleeve form of Bump Flex Train Repeat, you can. And that's about it for merch. This does show like what I'm now streaming, but this is like after the fact of like, it won't show this one, but after I'm done, it'll show the VOD of like now streaming. And then always thank you for your support. You can give whatever kind of donation that you want. And this is basically fourth wall. When you become a member, there is a members only section that gives you a feed, video, and perks. If you unlock the stuff, you get perks. You could go visit my Spotify, YouTube, Throne, Twitch, Twitter, and then this is just Apple, and all the different types of money that is selected. You would have to create an account to access stuff. You know, but that's fourth wall. Fourth wall is like Patreon, and I know Patreon has a lot of you know, a lot of people on Patreon, and I don't know how many people are on fourth wall. And right now it's telling you guys that I'm live on Twitch because that is what's connected. But other than that, yeah. I really, really do appreciate and love fourth wall. Because it's very, very helpful. Very, very helpful. So I hope you guys enjoy that. You guys take a look at it and decide to become members. And here it is, gift to Twitch chat. You can gift it, and you could also gift this to Twitch chat as well. I don't know if you have to, like, how does this work? Ah, okay. So if I was to do fourth wall, does that work? I don't even know my own thing. I don't even think I have that as that. Oh, I have it as merch. So you guys could go check out that. And you guys can also check out the Discord. And that's everything that I love and that I would love to tell other people about. But yeah, you can do the gift to Twitch chat as well, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Um and if you guys want to get your own fourth wall account, you guys can use my reference. Can I not? Did I change it? I think I changed it. Oh, I did change it. And if you're thinking about trying to get your own home somewhere, that's not Patreon, because Patreon takes a lot from you as a content creator already, and you're looking for not you're looking for something that doesn't take a lot of fees. Like fourth wall takes about like 10%, which is not bad. But that's only when you make money. They only take like 10%. So remember, you got to make money in order for them to take 10%. It's not like um they take the 10% no matter what. But it's whenever you make money, they take 10%. But yeah, if you're thinking of finding a new home and you don't want Patreon anymore, you don't want any of the other stuff anymore, and you want everything all in one place, like I showed you, which includes the merchandise, the shopping, the memberships, the videos, the feed, have a community there. Fourth Wall is the way to go. Everything for you at your fingertips. Nothing crazy, nothing complicated. So I really do recommend Fourth Wall. All right. Any questions in chat before we move on to watch some stuff that I have not even found yet? Oh, thank God the video doesn't play like that. Hold on. Well, you're good, Gia. Welcome to the stream. How far back of wrestling have you gotten? Like 90s wrestling, 80s wrestling, 70s wrestling? College Guy Wrestling, thank you for asking the question over here on youtube.com/Square Circle Podcast. Okay, so hey Robert Jr., what's up? So this is what I'm gonna say. My wrestling knowledge, to the best of my ability, goes back to like IWA Mid South, NWA. I mean, I was born in the 90s, but it doesn't mean that does not stop me from watching old school stuff. But I grew up on like IWA Mid South, NWA, WCCW, and then just watching a bunch of wrestling growing up. That's a combination of like 80s, 90s, and then like, obviously throughout the years. I have no problem watching anything from the 70s. Which, by the way, before we watch, I don't even know if you guys can see it on stream. I don't even know if it went. No, it did not. Before we get there, because College Guy is in the chat, because I wanted to mention something. Let me take this out. So College Guy, this is for you and for everyone else, right? Nice. Good to hear that. Still trying to get through 80s NWA myself. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, let me just say this, right? So this is the Discord, right? This is the Discord. What I created in Discord was forums, right? So I have not created any guidelines yet, or tags, or like default reaction posts and whatnot. Like I haven't done any of that. However, if any of you guys want me to react to certain matches that we can get on YouTube or maybe Daily Motion or something like that, if you want me to react to it, because I do reactions for it, it's called the Tape Study Series. The Tape Study Series is where I watch professional wrestling matches with you guys and also break down professional wrestling matches. So, that's why I like getting a membership that helps me out directly, can like bring this into fruition even on the Discord itself, rather than it being a live experience, but then more people have to come into the Discord. But that's neither here nor there. I wanted to draw attention to this is because if any of you guys have any match recommendations and or match reactions, it's going to be the same thing. What you would do is that you will create a forum post, and that will be your post for all the matches you want to recommend, you guys will not be creating multiple forum threads for this to happen. You guys would just create one thread that's your thread, and if you want me to react to something, you can tag me in it. But that would just be your one thread for the whole entire time that you have it. The same thing with the hot takes for content. If you have very good hot takes, not hot takes for the sake of hot takes, you would create one thread, and that would be your thread for the remainder of you putting hot takes in it. And I will react to it. I'll give you my opinion on it, and that's what I would do. The same thing for the match reactions. I just haven't set up anything yet because I want to string with you guys. I want to say what's up. I want to cultivate a community about it. So that's that. So if College Guy wants to stick around and hang out with us, you know, you could create a thread and you could do that and whatnot. Yes, I am on a lot of this. I'm on a lot of Discord servers, man. Because I see the value in Discord servers. So I'm just in a lot of them. But yeah, that's basically what I want to do. Now, as I drop, okay, that's fine, College Guy. I feel weird calling you college guy, college wrestling guy. I feel weird just being like, yeah, that's cool, College Guy. It's just kind of weird. Yo, Dr. Yaz, what's up over on the Twitch side of things? You grew up watching WCW. I feel like I missed some comments. Nope, I did not miss any comments except for Dr. Yasmin. Okay, any name is good. For some reason, my mind is like College Guy. Okay, but yes, as I put the Discord link in there, you are more than welcome to join. I just have not created any guidelines yet. So please refrain from posting match recommendations. I will ping everybody when that's done, but I just wanted to put it out there that that's the idea. That is the idea. And by the way, guys, not only do I post my food pictures on Twitter, I also post them here in the Discord. This was fantastic. I was satisfied with my spaghetti with tomato diced tomato sauce and then the Parmesan crusted chicken cutlets. I was very, very satisfied with it. Just like how I have perfected the crunch wrap at home. And then I actually made pulled pork for the first time. And then just had a bowl. Fantastic. Okay, join the Discord server if you guys want to. Join the Discord server if you want to. Okay. Now we can get down to some stuff that may end up getting me heat, that may end up getting me hate, but I really do not care because I want to react, I want to laugh, and that is what we are going to do today. We are going to laugh because who knew that we maybe needed or not needed this combination? But yeah. Give me a second. I gotta go get my headphones. Oh, excuse me.
Brand.com, where the pros are the pros.
That is so loud in my headset.
Castrating the marks. Okay, well, you know what the name of this show is, bro.
Yes.
So I got to ask you to castrate a mark with us.
Yeah, let's do it.
You're ready to go, regardless of who the subject might be.
God forbid we hear what they say about us, man. It's only fair game. Let's do it. Come on.
Go ahead, Jeff. Bring it up. Bring it up for my boy JD. Go ahead.
Oh God, here we go.
This is sent in by Scott Smith and Tyler Dunn, and we have another Sean Sapp in the wrestling ring clip. This time
Oh God.
he's doing something with the former Mojo Rawley. And by the way, we got 2 angles of this, so we'll do one at a time here, okay?
Listen, I know your best days are behind you, but mine aren't. So I say we settle this like that.
Wait, what? Wait. That looks so weird. I didn't, guys, I looked down for a second because I was looking at chat and it felt like it cut off whatever he was saying. And by the way, I will not reference him by name. You know, but I'm reacting to this because I think it's funny. Sometimes the stuff that Russo, you know, does that he reacts to is it's funny. And any trained professional would not like do that. What happened?
Here, okay.
Listen, I know your best days are behind you, but mine aren't. So I
Hold on, why my cat gives me headbutts like that? Oh, his cats, I think he has cats. His cats probably trained him. That was my
say
word.
we settle this like that.
Okay, first of all, if you are a trained professional, no trained professional would do that. You should finish your sentence before you do anything and then do the headbutt. Not like in mid-sentence, be like, you know, talk, headbutt, and then like the mic still captures your voice. Like that's not how that works.
Wait, stop it right there. Oh, wait. Me and JD got to take. We got to take this in first.
That's not how that works. Let's see what they
Oh
say.
my God.
Wait
man.
a minute. Go back and stop us after the headbutt so we can react to this, please. All right, JD, make sure you're paying attention to this. JD, this is the man you're going to be fighting at. Where is it? Forest Hills? You fight him at some tennis arena or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I get it. I get why they have JD on. Which by the way, can we just like quickly talk about that for a second? Like the last stream that I did, someone in chat asked me about like, you know, what's my opinion on, you know, JD from New York, and I'm like, I don't really have too much of a an informed opinion, and I'm not gonna take whatever on what the internet says, but you know, I will give him props for being like, yo, I'm gonna be here. Here's the address. You can show up. And that to me is always like, I would give people props to be like, to stand their ground and be like, I'm gonna be here. You better show up. And then, you know, the other person being like, oh no, I'm gonna be in between these two streets where the airport is at. You better show up. And what that does is it creates an atmosphere and a narrative of like, oh, he never showed up. I told him where to be. And it's like, no, you didn't tell him where to be. You told him to go on a wild goose chase in order for you to get the narrative that this person didn't want to fight you. And you're like, oh, come on, let's fight. You know who does that? High school children. High school children do that. Thankfully, JD is like, yo, here's the address. Pull up if you want to. Because that is what New Yorkers do. New Yorkers are not afraid to be like, yo, pull up. And if you're not going to pull up, then like we all know.
I used to live in Forest Hills. So
This is
I
the
know.
guy. This is the guy you're going to be fighting,
Well,
JD.
supposedly, the guy who don't want to get pizza with me. Yeah.
Go ahead, Jeff. Play that again.
I know your best days are behind you, but mine aren't. So I say we settle this like that.
Okay, stop. Now, JD, I'm going to ask you a legitimate question, okay? And then I'm going to give you the floor. He knows this shit is out there. He knows we're going to be watching it. He doesn't expect us to freaking make a damn fool out of him for this. What does he expect us to do, bro? He knows this is out there. He's in the ring acting like a mark and a jackass. What does he expect you and I to do, bro? Watch this and put it over?
I don't know what this is or where this is from, but I mean, you wouldn't listen. I
First of all, I don't know why my headset is like fucking up. Is it because, hold on. Let me just turn off the. I'm gonna turn off the Bluetooth for a second. No.
I work for House of Glory Wrestling. I love everybody over there. Amazing Red runs the company. I do
Oh, I love
commentary over there.
Amazing Red. Love Amazing Red,
I
bro.
do commentary for him. Red is one of the nicest
Yes.
people that I've ever met. He's given me a great opportunity. Vince, this clip here, he wants to be a part of everything so badly.
Yes.
Because he feels like he deserves to be there.
Yes.
I'm telling you, both of you guys, when I go to a House of Glory show, I've been doing shows for them for 6 years, commentary. I don't even step foot in the fucking locker room because I know I don't belong there. I get to the arena, I have my Starbucks, I sit at my desk, I take my notes, I do the show, I go home. I don't mingle with anybody. If someone comes up and says, "What's up?" "Hey guys, what's up? How you doing?" I'll critique their matches. I'll give them a little input from what I saw, and that's it. I haven't been in the House of Glory locker room one time in 6 years, and this fucking clown is in the ring trying to headbutt somebody here, and he feels like he belongs to be there. That's to me, that's, I don't know.
Interesting. I mean, I don't know how JD does his notes, but like when I do commentary, if I need to speak to some of the talent, I will go into the back of the locker room. But I can also agree with JD is that like I still don't even go into the back of the locker room for stuff, even though if I'm doing commentary or something, because I respect the locker room and I really don't go back there because I'm not like a trained professional. But again, if I need something for my notes, I will go and try to find the wrestler. And if the wrestler happens to be in the locker room, then I will go in the locker room respectfully and be like, "Hey, I have some questions. Let me just write down some notes." Which, like, something for like this. Let me see if you guys can see it. Like for something like this is like my note sheet for when we did Battle of Athena for the Goddesses Award. Like this is all of my notes. And for the most part, I kind of like all the wrestlers were out of the locker rooms. I was able to like get these notes, but like I just don't go to the back. And I didn't realize that like a lot of people just don't do that. But I mean, I just don't go to the back out of like respect. So I got that.
Oh, there's something wrong with that.
Yeah. Play the rest of it, Jeff, and then we got to see the other angle.
Yeah, we got another angle because you're gonna see the beauty of that the headbutt, and the way he lands is great.
Shoot, bro.
Oh my God. First of all, that's not how you run the ropes.
Let's kick this thing off. Let's go. You stay right there.
All right, so Jeff, there's another angle.
There's another angle. I think
That's not
this
how you
one
run
is
the ropes.
Before we see the other, again, JD, does he expect us not to make a fool out of him watching this?
I mean, did you see the way he just kind of flailed around and flew across the ring?
Well, bro, we're gonna get a better angle though, JD. Hold on, we're gonna get a better angle, man. Go ahead, Jeff.
Didn't he say something along the lines? I'm sorry. Didn't he
No,
say
go ahead.
something along that you were out of shape or something? Why is he like he looks kind of pudgy there? What's going on there?
I have no idea, bro. I got
College wrestling guy is right. Monty Brown is frowning somewhere because Monty Brown had like one of the best pounces there is.
Yeah, I bro, listen, I'm sure your grandma, back in your grandma's day, JD, there was a thing called a girdle.
Yes.
I've suggested Sean Ross Sapp wear a girdle. And I think I'm helping him out, bro.
Vince.
Next time I see grandma, I'll bring it up to her, see what she says.
See if maybe she's got a spare girdle. All right, go ahead, Jeff. Let's see
That's
this
hilarious.
angle.
I know your best days are behind you, but mine aren't. So I say we settle this like that.
So he headbutted him
In the shoulder.
and even below the shoulder, like between the
armpit.
chest and the
But
shoulder.
the thing is, guys, there's no reaction. Like who's
Yeah.
reacting to this? Like who's
There's no reaction.
We are.
It almost
We're
sounds like
reacting.
there's-
Oh.
We're reacting.
yeah,
to
we're
it.
reacting, but it almost sounds like there's no audience there.
There
They're
isn't.
behind you, but mine aren't. So I say we settle this like that.
People are laughing.
Okay, so we got to.
Listen, if you are not a trained professional, stop getting into the ring because anything can happen. This is why myself and other actual wrestlers, by the way, I'm obviously not a wrestler, but like I know that wrestling wasn't for me, bumping wasn't for me, but running the ropes is kind of fun. But like if you are not a trained professional, do not get into the ring. Do not try to do something with a wrestler because anything can go wrong. This right here, like his whole entire skeletal structure is at an angle, and like, you know, that could cause back problems because if you're not working out, if you're not stretching, if you're not doing what wrestlers do, what an athlete does to get healthy and to like, you know, show that they're a wrestler and get into shape, you're gonna wake up like pretty hurt. And then to like really fly across the ring and not know the distance and everything. And this is why we say wrestling, you have to be professional. You are a professional wrestler. You get trained to be a professional wrestler. It's not like anybody should be let into the ring. Like, why is there no sense of honor, respect, integrity for the ring? Like, why can anybody and everybody just get into the ring and be like, I'm gonna work a program or work an angle for, against this guy, and then mask it over like a charity event? Why? Don't do that. Do not put people who are not professionally trained in the ring. Don't do it. Have respect for the business that gave you the opportunity to showcase your art, to showcase, you know, what you can do for the fans, for the venue, for, you know, you bring value into the community. Like, you know, get some respect for the wrestling community and for the wrestling industry. If you're not a professional, don't step into that ring.
Look, bro, look at the gut. Well, bro, I'm serious about the girdle now. I didn't know it was that big. My God, bro.
Man, 2 years ago, I looked like that, and I got myself in the gym, man, after Jake Cargill said something about me not being able to do a pull-up. So I went to the gym for the last 2 years. If I look like that now, man, I'd be fucking embarrassed. I'm sorry.
All right, go ahead, Jeff. What were you going to say?
Why do they book him? Vince has his theory of why these wrestling companies allow this to take place in their rings. They bring him in. GCW had him in a main event. Why do you think
he's buddy with all those guys over at GCW. GCW's worked with Hog. There's some people over there that don't like me. Janela does not like me, but he's all buddy with them. He's all in their pockets.
Hey J-Rod, what's up? Sorry I didn't get your messages earlier. Yeah, see, I wanted to watch it with everybody. I didn't want to watch it by myself.
That is what it is. It's a political game that he plays.
Yeah. Look at that gut.
That's great.
I don't know why they, but who is he? Like, he comes out to these shows. Who is he? Apparently he's one of the most hated guys in the community, and then they're using him on the shows for what? Nobody wants to see him.
Because
Gio is definitely right. They book him because he mentions them. Of course, you give them publicity, you get booked. But then again, you're not a professional. You can easily get hurt. And like, if you're not trained to be a wrestler or to like learn how to bump, and you just want to be like, I could do this too. No, you can't. Because then it looks very cartoonish and it looks like everything that you go against, and you're like, WWE does all this kiddie stuff and fake stuff. WWE is bad. And then when you're doing, you're like, I did a great thing. No. Like, if you're not a professional wrestler, don't be in that ring. Don't get booked either. Because then you're taking a spot away from actual wrestlers that want that spot, that want to entertain the crowd and actually entertain them. Stop taking spots away from wrestlers.
Here's why, JD. And at least, bro, you know what I said to LaGreca, JD? Because I had a conversation with LaGreca about the Denise thing. And I said to him, you know, my problem is, let me tell you what my problem is, Dave. I said, my problem is Denise Hollywood Sausalito is co-hosting a show with Tommy Dreamer. Bro, she's a glorified wrestling fan. And this is what I said to him, JD. I said, Dave, I am a San Francisco Giants fan. I promise you I'm not co-hosting a show with Buster Posey. I promise you, bro, because I'm a fan. But, bro, here's the thing. At least LaGreca admitted to me, bro, he's looking for that young demo. He's
Ah.
looking for that audience that Denise gets. At least LaGreca admitted that to me. The problem with the Saps is, bro, they're booking him because they want him to put the promotion over on Fightful, and the guy is gonna put the promotion over as long as they book him. And bro, that's fine and well. Don't call yourself a freaking journalist then, because you're not. You're a 100% sellout, bro. You're not a freaking journalist.
Journalist, you're really stretching the term thin when it comes to him. He does a good job when he's reporting the news and breaks news. That's fine. But the calling what they do over there at Fightful journalism, I mean, how could they be journalists when, like I said before, they told the line? And you have Righteous Reg over there working for Fightful, who's got a podcast on Fightful's platform. He's making music for AEW. Why would I go to him for AEW opinion and fair criticism when he's writing music for their roster? Like that's not what I want to listen to. So obviously he's going to say, he's going to praise this, he's going to praise that. And that goes up and down the line over at Fightful. And it's at the top with Sapp and Denise. They never say anything as far as valid, fair criticism. Why he's booked on these shows, you're correct. Why Denise is on Busted Open, Dave wants a younger demo. I mean, I don't know if there's anybody else out there that could be better suited for that. I'm sure there is. I
could definitely help them get a smarter audience, and not just focus on a younger demographic and try to make things girly. Wrestling is a sport. I believe it's a sport. It's also entertainment. But it's not like, I mean, there's pop culture in it and stuff like that. But, we talk about angles, we talk about story, we talk about character development, and that's everything that like I love doing and analyzing stuff. But yeah, I could maybe one day, who knows.
can't stand to listen to her for more than 30 seconds. I haven't listened to one Busted Open show with her on. And Busted Open is very good. Bully Ray, whatever he does, he's very
Love those guys.
I love his opinion. Tommy Dreamer, love his opinion.
Yeah.
But like that's what you're going towards? And then we can't say anything as far as the content that she put out, then we're bad people? I mean, God forbid what these people say about me and everybody else. It's not fair.
That's my take is you I guarantee you probably get it way worse than Sapp, because when you put yourself out there, the more popular you get, the more people are not going to like you. That's just the law of nature, the law of averages. He can't take any criticism. He's vanity searching his name.
Yep.
He's DMing anybody that says anything, not even if it's not even mean, if it's just constructive criticism.
By the way, we all have evidence of that. So if anybody out there is going to say, no, that doesn't happen, we have evidence. We know it happens.
He's in their DMs. You got to be able to handle criticism when you do something like he does. How do you do it? Because I'm sure you get it worse than he does.
I've this year especially, I've developed an even harder shell on social media. If I see someone coming at me and attacking me personally, then I will say it's like like this past week I got a death threat. James Earl Jones passed away. Someone's like, they should have took JD from NY instead of James Earl Jones. I wish I could have him back. I'm like, really, guy over pro wrestling? So if it reaches that point, I'll say something publicly on social media. But I'm a quick block or a mute. I don't deal with these people. It's not worth my time anymore. Sapp engages with everybody. He has to prove everybody wrong, and he's in threads up and down, left and right, from morning to night. And it's like, bro, you call yourself a journalist. So why don't you have any integrity as far as what you bring to the table as a journalist? Like, I don't see professional journalism majors or journalists doing that on social media. You got to argue with everybody. Yeah, AEW Elite Mark 004. I'm sure that's what you want to spend your fucking day on, arguing with. Come on, bro.
Hold on.
Okay. Well, that was that. I just wanted to watch that with everybody here, and I will say it again. Yeah, I had issues with him. I just don't bring it up because he's stuck in the past. He's stuck in the past. I have moved on from that day, and that's about it. But I just wanted to react to it because I didn't know that we needed a collaboration of JD from New York and Vince Russo, which was, pretty awesome to see. And like, they're 100% right. And I will say it again, if you are not professionally trained to be in that ring, do not go into that ring. that there's a reason why like a lot of people, you know, that are fans shouldn't cross over that barricade, shouldn't cross over that line until they have the classes, the bumps, running the ropes, understanding what it takes to be a professional wrestler. Like if they're not getting that, don't book them. Even if they're going to put you over. Like there are other ways for you to get over in professional wrestling. There are other ways other than the shortcuts to get over in professional wrestling. And even when you do get over, and I'm speaking to the promotions, nothing really changes. No momentum like really picks up, because we're still talking about the same promotions over and over and over again. There are just other ways, clever ways, creative ways to get over that. You don't need the third party websites that will be biased, that will put you over. But if you're not delivering on what the sites say so positively about you, if you're not putting that out there, then people are not going to believe in it anymore. You know what I mean? Like if the article is about praising a certain wrestling promotion, but that promotion is not doing the things that are said within the article that they are supposedly doing, then people are going to lose trust. This is why you don't really go towards third party sites that could be very biased, because if someone is saying something but you're doing the opposite, then that's how like trust leaves, if that makes sense. But yeah, if you're not a professional, don't get into that ring. I'm gonna go give it a like. And I will drop it in chat just because. Oh no, that's not.
In
No,
3.
that's not what I wanted. We'll listen to one more, and then we will.
Russo's brand.
We'll listen to one more, and then we'll listen to the other podcast episode that I wanted to listen to.
Where the pros are the pros. Castrating the marks.
There's so much to be said about the lack of journalism in wrestling. We could spend years talking about it. Yeah, we can. And the thing is that it's not going to improve because we got gatekeepers. We got people think that they know stuff. We got cutthroat people that would be like, oh, this person's not a journalist, and they would discredit anybody just so that way the ones on top could stay on top, because the moment that like the money goes away, the whole business falls. That is why you do things on your own. That's why you go to the beat of your own drum, and you don't really do what other people are doing, and eventually people will gravitate towards you. If you build it, they will come, but they will not. But in this day and age, people believe more lies than anything, and it's kind of sad. But if you build your foundation on truth and transparency and try to be as open and honest as you can with your community, you will have a stronger community that will be there for you until like you fuck up somehow.
Also sent by Guillermo Gutierrez and Greg O'Grady. This is Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez talking about AEW's Hikaru Shida having a singles match
this one
on TV the day before the pay-per-view where she has a shot for the title.
Hikaru Shida is facing Deonna Purrazzo the night before she gets a championship match on pay-per-view.
Yes.
Why?
But it's not for the title shot.
I know, but it's just weird.
It's just a match, just to give her a win. I mean, that's happened only a billion times in wrestling. It's not anything to get worked up over.
I don't think Cody is doing a singles match the night before WrestleMania facing Roman Reigns. I'm positive that did not happen.
Okay, but guess what? You could probably count the times that the challenger champion wrestled a match on SmackDown before a pay-per-view, or on a Friday show or on the Go Home Raw when they didn't have Friday or whatever. It happened all the time. This is not unusual whatsoever.
I want someone to go back and check this one out.
Thank you.
The challenge.
Thank you. Thank you. Because I'm thinking the same thing. I'm running it through. I'm running Hogan through in my mind.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
don't think it ever happened, bro.
The only time that I can't think of a specific example, but I'm sure there were times where your shot at the pay-per-view is on the line tonight. I feel like there's been storyline reasons, but just a random match, I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, it is nice that Alvarez is asking for,
Yeah.
all right, show me where then.
Yeah.
Challenger for the world title the next day, wrestling on SmackDown.
No, on SmackDown on the Friday before the pay-per-view, wrestling
The
in
day
a match.
before. The day before.
All the time.
A singles match, the challenger for the title.
All the time.
All right. Someone's
All
going
the
to
time.
find this. I guarantee it.
All the time. All the time. It happened in WCW before their pay-per-views. All the time. It happened on Mid-South
I'm not talking
Wrestling
about that. I'm
television.
talking of late. I want to go back to Mid-South Wrestling.
I'm talking about.
He did say Mid-South too. Dave did.
We're not going that far back.
I don't want to see the Mulkeys.
But again here, it's the what about this? What about that?
Yeah.
In context, Alvarez is just saying this doesn't mean, why would you do this, right?
Funny thing is, both are right to a degree. This was just to give Sheeta a win before the pay-per-view, and it also didn't make sense storyline wise, because why would you risk it? A competitor. Yeah, man. Like again, it's one of those things of like, this is where the storyline cohesiveness. Sorry, not cohesion. Cohesive storytelling, like, it's non-existent. This is just Tony Khan fantasy booking, Mark booking, like all those buzzwords and whatnot, except for fantasy booking, because I don't think fantasy booking is like a buzzword. But Mark booking is like, yeah, we'll give you a shot and have you win right before the pay-per-view and whatnot. Like, what? What are you doing? Like, no, that's not that's not how things are supposed to go. Imagine if she got hurt, then what?
Right?
Yeah.
Why would you do this?
Yeah.
But well, and Dave's response is always, it's always been that way.
Yeah.
That's
Always.
always his answer.
Yep.
Late. I want to go back to Mid-South Wrestling.
I'm talking about.
I don't want to see the Mulkeys in 2024.
I'm just talking about the history of wrestling. This is done all the time. I mean, this is not the slightest bit unusual.
I find this very unusual nowadays.
I have no idea why, because the idea of a challenger for a championship.
Bro, do you think, can
winning
we
a
stop for a
match-
second? Do you think he off the air gets pissed at Alvarez and says something? Because
Probably.
Alvarez makes him look like an idiot so many times.
Yeah, I think there's certain times that we've heard where Alvarez is clearly pushing his buttons to get him to go this way. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have no idea why, because the idea of a challenger
He needs to name the match, name the wrestlers, the date, and the name of the event if he's going to make a debate like that. Yep.
for a championship, winning a match on the last television show before the big championship match is a cornerstone of pro wrestling.
So you're telling me that when they do that Solo Sikoa Cody Rhodes match,
I don't
next
know.
month, Solo's going to wrestle Friday night.
Wow,
Wow.
you got hot there. You got that. You got a little hot there. You never hear David get hot.
Yeah.
Well, we did with the she's not a heel.
Cornerstone of pro wrestling.
Dave
So you're
reaches
telling me
back
that
to
when they do
territory
that Solo
days.
Sikoa,
Dave reaches back to the territory days to try to prove a point. Yeah, you can't really do that. You know who does that a lot? Wrestling fans who think they know but they don't know. Do that so much. Even in today's like climate, people would try to go back so many years to try to prove a point, and it's like, that's a different way of thinking versus now, like two different mentalities. people grow up. People don't have the same mindset all the time. You might find the 1% of people that do have the same mindset as all the way back then, but for the most part, nobody has the same mindset. Everybody has grown up. So like, we got to stop trying to reach back into the past and be like, you as a wrestling fan would never survive the Attitude Era, or you're too soft and you're too this. You know, back then, back in my day, you can use that kind of stuff depending on what the conversation is and depending on like what you're trying to explain and trying to do a compare and contrast and whatnot. But for the most part, like, you know, you got to stop trying to go all the way to the past to try to prove a point when it's not needed in the conversation. Like trying to say that, you know, in IWA Mid-South, they did this all the time. Well, you got to prove it, Dave. You got to prove, you know, if you want to present this as a fact in your debate, you got to prove it. And if you can't prove it, don't say shit. Metzler and Alvarez sound like a divorced couple. Yeah, man. Somebody should make t-shirts and merchandise that Metzler and Alvarez like divorced couple or something. I don't know. I think that'd be funny. Dave Metzler and Alvarez is the cancer professional wrestling. It's them and other people, and then fans enable it. And when you enable something like that, that's not a very good thing to do.
Cody Rhodes match.
I don't know.
Solo's going to wrestle Friday night. I don't
He
think
might. He might not. I mean, it's not like it happens every single
they'll
time.
do a contract signing or they'll do
It
a
happens.
face-to-face. He ain't having a rando match.
That's WWE this year. If you look at this year wrestling, this is like a cornerstone. You put the challenger over on television right before the pay-per-view or before the big show, before the stadium show, before that. It happens constantly.
No, it doesn't.
Mercedes,
You haven't watched. It's television. That's exactly
I
what
watched
you do.
every single SmackDown. The challenger, not one time this year, is the challenger for the title.
God, this sounds like a conversation we'd be having with him. You know that, bro?
Yeah.
SmackDown. The challenger, not one time this year, is the challenger for the title. Wrestled on the Friday before SmackDown.
How does he not know? He watches it. But hold on, Jeff. How does he not know? He watches every show too. How does he not know?
I don't know. He takes notes and everything.
SmackDown. The challenger, not one time this year, is the challenger for the title. Wrestled on the Friday before SmackDown. Not one time this year.
I have no idea if that's true or not, but it doesn't matter because it's SmackDown in 2024 is not the history of wrestling, and it's not the history of wrestling booking, and it's not necessarily the greatest booking ever. You know, I mean, it's like I'm talking about something that this is a ridiculous.
It is, and my point
waste
is,
of time.
my point is, I don't care,
A waste of
but
time.
it's like weird, like.
All right, so a couple of things to touch on. First, I'll read College Wrestling Guide's comment here. And they forget when the talk about the past, those people in business ran wrestling like a business. 100% true. They ran it like a business, not like Tony's Sandbox for a free for all. Totally right, 100%. And you saw how Uncle Dave is dismissive because Uncle Dave knows that he's trapped into a corner and he can't prove it. While Alvarez over here, it's like, yo, this doesn't make any sense. Like, we're not talking about the past, we're talking about right now. Like, why would AEW do this? And this is the problem, that Uncle Dave has put AEW so high on a pedestal that the moment that like his little bubble almost gets burst, he wants to be like, oh no, let's switch, we're not going to talk about it anymore. This is ridiculous. Bro, if you just would have said that, oh, I don't know, we would not have not gotten this far in the conversation about it. It's one of those things of like, stop putting AEW on a pedestal. Everything that AEW does needs to be looked at and basically be told like, yo, you gotta change for the better, and not praise it, not blindly praise it. You know that phrase of toxic positivity? AEW and the fans created that shit. Because they want to be like, AEW is so perfect, AEW is so good, just accept it. No, don't accept it. Keep questioning it. Keep having conversations. But if you're going to keep having conversations and you're going to keep questioning it, make sure that you have some facts to back up what you say and how you say it. If you're going to say that, we're going to talk about IWA Mid-South. Well, how does IWA Mid-South, a particular specific example, how does IWA Mid-South pertains to the conversation about how come Hikaru Shida is fighting the day before the pay-per-view before her title match. Give a specific example from IWA Mid-South, Uncle Dave, or anybody else about, like, you know, what do you call it? That relates to the conversation. If you can't, stop using the past as a clutch to be like, oh, they did it in the past and just forget about it, because we're talking about the, you know, the current stuff. Dave was talking nonsense. How has he been writing about this medium for 40 years without picking up on its basic storytelling conventions and tropes? Oh, he knows about it. He's mentally, it's weird. I'm just gonna say that. I mean, my bestie has been watching with me for a year, and he gets how this works. That's a good thing.
This is supposed to be a big match on Saturday.
It's not
Why
weird.
is she facing Deanna the night before?
It's
Deanna's supposed to
not.
be like a star.
It's not weird. It happens all that even better. That she's a star, that makes it even better. It's a bigger win. That's exactly what you do. I know when I was growing up, before the frickin' Cow Palace show on the Saturdays TV, the same that aired that afternoon.
That's fine for the 70s.
Okay. It's not just the 70s. You could do it in every decade, constantly. It is a cornerstone of wrestling that you put the challenger over on television. In his run to, I don't know.
Not in his run, the day before.
The day of when you had same day TV. They did it
What?
everywhere, all the time. It
No.
Come on, you didn't even pop for that scream.
Go ahead.
He yelled. That was a yell.
I didn't hear.
in
Let
his
me hear.
run to, I don't
Not
know
in his
where-
run, the day before.
The day of when you had same day TV. They did it everywhere, all the time. It was a regular occurrence because it's, this is ridiculous.
Oh, I didn't know that Bill Watts was still alive. But you know, Dave is not going to invite Bill onto the show to ask him that.
The Bucks are backstage.
Yeah, it is ridiculous, bro, because he called him out on it and he's got no proof. Give me an example. And he's throwing back 30, 40 years because Brian's going to remember from 30, 40 years ago.
Dude, in my head, Alvarez knows how great the "She's Not a Heel" was.
Yeah.
He's trying to get this. He did it. He snapped the day of.
Yeah.
And then Alvarez moves on. Did you notice that he moved on
Yeah.
then because he got it? That's how I feel like that's what
Oh
he's
my
doing.
God, that is unbelievable, bro.
Look what he's getting so upset over.
I know.
The actual topic that he's getting upset over, whether a challenger for a championship would wrestle on TV the show before. He's yelling.
Unreal, bro.
Well, we know about all the violence and stuff, the chair to the head, the bag over.
Oh, okay. So hold on. I think that was yeah, because Bill would destroy all of Dave's arguments. Yep. Okay, so wait. What's the rest
for
of this?
the plastic bag over the
Knife,
head.
the blocks, syringes.
Yeah.
Obviously, we saw
Well, the gang's all here.
Ah.
Let's hit the road.
It's the Disney Plus blockbuster offer.
That's right.
a lot of crazy,
God,
violent
stop for a
spots.
second. Look, bro, remember Kid in Play?
Yeah.
That's who his hair is really starting to look like now.
Oh my God.
Now it's getting freaking ridiculous, bro. Now it's become a parody of itself.
My grandma used to wear a hairnet,
Yeah.
and that her hair was in this shape when she had the hairnet on.
Yeah.
Like that's what it looks like.
Look at his face.
It's a bad pause.
On the show tonight. I'm just kind of curious, what is your process when going over, weighing the risk with a spot and whether or not, like, just the situation calls for it? Where do you kind of figure out on a day-to-day basis how to draw the line and not cross it, and whether or not a spot is worth it?
Okay. Do you got the question, Vince?
He's gonna say it's a good question.
Well,
Yeah.
of course. Do you got the question? Do you
Yeah.
understand the question?
Yes.
Where's the line?
Yeah.
How do you
What's too
decide-
much? What's too
Yeah.
much?
How do you decide? Okay, for violence.
Great question. I think it's something that the company has gotten better and better about. And we have the smartest pro wrestlers, the smartest coaches, and we've only added more great wrestlers. We've seen the roster get better and better. And in the backstage, more coaches, more great people. And a lot of thought went into tonight's show. And you saw, in my opinion, the best professional wrestlers in the world go out there. And you saw so many different things, different kinds of matches, different kinds of rivalries, different kinds of results, and different kinds of emotions. And it was a roller coaster. And I felt like it was a fantastic show tonight. And I felt really great about what we put out there. And, you know, I do appreciate where your question's coming from, but I also think it's from having the best wrestlers and the best staff and the best fans in the world. That's how we were able to put out a product tonight, and it takes everybody working together, the wrestlers and the fans and the staff all coming together.
It takes everybody working together, including the fans, to put a plastic bag over someboing's head.
Right.
That's what he just said.
He hasn't even addressed it. The question.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Do something as special as this, and it was a very, very ambitious effort, to say the least.
He did not answer the question.
That's where the Sports Illustrated dude needs to say, bro, you didn't answer the question.
Yeah, unless the person takes the microphone away from them after they ask it.
Yeah.
TK never makes any sense.
What's he gonna say, Jeff? What's he gonna say? There is no line. What's he gonna say?
Why even do these, man? You're not you didn't. All you wanted to do is talk about how great you are. That's it.
Yep.
Answer the guy's question.
Okay. I didn't realize that was like the end of that. Now, for the last bit of this,
Happy birthday, Marty. Oh, no, you don't. Let
I
me
hate
get
this. I can't skip it. We are going to be finishing off with Undertaker's podcast. Yeah, I did hear about Mercedes having heat backstage. Like that's nothing new. People don't want to accept that she has this ego going on, and people want to be like, "Oh my God, she's amazing. She's this." No, she's not. You could tell that she has an attitude, and that like everywhere she goes, she's gonna have like backstage heat for like no reason, and it's probably like can definitely be like no reason. But yeah, I heard that she has backstage heat, whether it's true or not, but you could definitely tell that just because based on her attitude and what she wants to do and how she wants to be presented, but then again, that whole entire locker room in AEW has heat with each other, has drama with each other. It doesn't make any sense. Like, that's the one locker room that there's a story coming out almost like every other week or every week. And it's like, how do you keep up with all of those stories that come out? Like, what? Like, AEW needs to learn how to stop leaking out stories so that way they could get like some positive press rather than like getting press for the sake of getting press. And it's not like productive at all. Not all publicity is good publicity, They gave her creative control. That's like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. Yeah. Yeah. So what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna listen to this podcast, the whole entire thing. Definitely when Cody left, everything changed. That's when you knew like stuff was gonna be bad. So we're gonna listen to this. And then this will be the last thing. By the way, guys, if anybody wants to help out, I still have not connected the treat stream to my YouTube because I haven't done that yet. It is only connected to the Twitch side of things. So when I include treats, it's gonna it will work with Twitch. If anybody wants to end up buying me food to continue the stream, by all means go ahead. But it's there as like a suggestion. But yeah, the last time that we did treats, it's basically someone had ordered McDonald's for me, and then like when it came to my door, the freaking soda spilled at my front door and in my house, and I had to clean it up. And I was just like, what the fuck, man? Like I was looking forward to having a Dr. Pepper, but the container spilled. So I had to clean it up, and I was like, damn, man. But yeah, if anybody wants to end up buying me treats, it's gonna have to be over on the Twitch side of things to get the link. I mean, you probably could click the link here in YouTube. I just don't know what. Oh, it does work. Ah, interesting. I didn't know that. I just thought it was you must be logged in though, whether that's YouTube, Twitch. They still got Mixer on here, and they got Facebook on here too. So if anybody wants to end up buying me food, you can. That would be very, very, very appreciative. Very appreciative. Um, Yo, CP, what's up? MM has her own locker room, own writer, own creative control, and she gets paid the most money of the female talent. That I would love to see how much she really gets paid, like a legit pay stub. Because for her to be overpaid, man, like I don't know. Yeah, I can see why she has heat. Blame TK. Yeah, I'll blame Tony Khan, but I would love to see like an invoice or something of how much she gets paid. Considering how many little tidbits have come out about several people in the AEW women's division, the working climate over there seems horrifying. I feel sorry for any of them. And that's all you can do, right? Because it's sort of like, if you're gonna be hearing these horrible stories like week in, week out, you have to question of like, yo, is anybody sane over there? I don't think nobody is sane. All right, so like I said, I am J Rod said they should change it to ADW, all drama wrestling. They probably should, man. All right, on the Twitch side of things, I'm running a quick set of ads. We're gonna take a quick tiny break. If anybody wants again to get me food, the link is there. And then we're gonna watch the whole entire podcast episode of Undertaker Stain, and then we'll be right back. Okay, let's go.
What we haven't done in a while?
Put out a good podcast.
We haven't done a giveaway.
We ain't done a giveaway in a while.
Oh, no. So for the month of September, I came up with an idea.
What do you got?
We've been putting cash in the urn.
All
We'll
right.
keep doing that.
All right.
I'll get a different urn. Let's give away the urn.
Full cash?
Not full of cash. Something even better.
Come on.
Kane's been in the studio.
Right.
So what I did was I had Kane sign the urn. Maybe I can convince you to sign it as well.
I think we can do that.
We're going to give it away to one lucky fan. All you have to do,
What do you got to do? Tell me.
go over to our Spotify, give us a follow, a 5-star review, and leave a comment. It can be any comment. We don't care. Undertaker's great. Brothers of Destruction, greatest tag team ever.
Right.
Matt's
Maybe I should do that and tell everybody to go to my Spotify and do the same thing. Except that I don't really do giveaways because I don't understand how to do giveaways. And if I were to send something to somebody, I'm not sure what that would be. And then I don't know how much the shipping would be, and I can't afford shipping depending on where you're at, I should say. So like, that's why I don't do giveaways. But what I can do, other than you liking this YouTube episode, right? Which I would appreciate it if you do give it a like and stuff like that. But if you do not know about my podcast on Spotify, if I can find it rather than like searching it, here we go. If you guys could go over to my Spotify link, I guess give it a like, I don't know. But I should probably do that. And it's in the chat.
whatever. We don't care what you write in there. Just leave a comment, a 5-star review, and follow the
So I skipped ahead.
He went to the Texas game and came to Terry Black's. They had a whole section blocked off for him and everything else. I screamed out to him that I knew the Undertaker, but
yeah,
he's probably like,
you don't know no Undertaker.
He was like, I'm a Brock Lesnar guy. I was like, whoa, hey,
never mind.
It's all right, cool.
It's all good.
Yeah, go Fins.
Oh my!
But yeah, like a bunch of Texas folks. I don't know former players, if not or whatever, but they got to go sit with him. But yeah, I was Texas yesterday. It was pretty crowded down there with a lot of orange, like burnt orange downtown.
Burnt orange.
Yeah,
Real
burnt orange.
Pantone 151. That's the real color.
Whew.
Man, you know the Pantone color and everything.
Well,
Man.
There's some things you just have to be proud of. And that's one of them.
I call that what, construction orange.
Construction orange. You know, it's
Construction orange.
Road going fast.
Even
turkey hunting orange. Turkey hunting orange. It is high vis. I'll give you that. Yeah, hunter safety orange.
Oh my gosh! It was just easier for the fans, you know. Them rednecks up here at Knoxville, them hillbillies just come out of the woods and just go straight to the football game. So they're like, we might as well make this our school colors.
Your constituents, man. You
Come on, man.
defend your constituents.
He's getting beat down and getting stomped by the combat flip flops.
Yeah, just don't take that, man. Just smack him.
No.
Yes.
I would never want to be smacked.
Yes.
Oh my
He'd
God.
smack you so hard you wouldn't even feel it.
Well, speaking of getting smacked, our boy Gunther won yesterday against Randy.
Are you shocked?
No. What do you think about Gunther? He's our guy right now.
What do I think about him? I think he's a big raw bone dude. I think he's talented though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those chops.
Yeah. You love chops.
Yeah. He'd already had to change his offense. He's working with me. I'd probably give him 1 or 2, but he would exceed the limit really quick, and he would have to come up with something a little bit. No, I like him. I think he's a kind of a throwback to a different era, and he does. As painful as those chops look, I mean, he actually, you think he's beating you down, which he is, without doing a bunch of, aerial attack.
Flippy
It's just
doos.
nice to see somebody grind somebody down, and I think he's going to have to. I think he's going to have to be careful. If he doesn't add a little bit of, needs to add a little more. I think chicken shit to his repertoire, or he's going to become a babyface much sooner than he expects. That's just the way it is now.
But Randy Orton didn't walk out of that ring last night with his chest bleeding like a lot of opponents. So I think
I imagine.
Probably a conversation about that.
Yeah, there was a long conversation. Dude, I'm going to sell for you. You don't have to hit me so many times.
Were you a guy that, if somebody like that was going to, he's known for his chops, were you okay with, lay it in?
Yeah, but then, you'd also have to give it back.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I was fine with that, but on the other side, it's like I'm probably gonna hit you back too. So,
Yo, Sports Jedi. Afternoon. Welcome. I'm sorry, J-Rod. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm sorry. I have to make up for revenue over at Twitch, so I have to end up playing ads. I'm so sorry. Raheem, chicken poop. Yeah. Basically Undertaker was explaining that when Gunther is out there, because Kane has said to Undertaker that Undertaker likes chops. So basically Gunther has to do more chicken shit stuff. If not, he's gonna become a babyface way too early. And I'm glad, Denisha, you just got off work. Let me see. This was posted just so that way we know the timeline for that comment. 8 days ago. This is from 8 days ago. So
prepared.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a receipt.
Wait, who'd you give it a receipt? Was it Big Show?
It was Big Show.
Yeah, this is a good story.
Yeah. Poor Paul. And I love Paul, man.
We took it upon ourselves, really, to try and put him under the learning tree. And
and there were some tough lessons.
There were some tough lessons had to be learned, and I think he's appreciative now. Not so much during it, but anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so we were all. He had some heat anyway. Remember? Because not him. No, he left the WrestleMania earlier or whatever. Remember that? And then
I thought you were talking about something serious, like trying to palm the 5-5 when we were playing dominoes.
Well, that too,
he almost got beat up over that.
Yeah, he did.
It would have took everybody there.
Yeah.
But.
So anyway, we're for some reason in their infinite wisdom, WWE decides to book a show in Trenton, New Jersey, right before a big pay-per-view at King of the Ring at Meadowlands, which is 45 minutes down the New Jersey Turnpike. There is no one in Trenton because they're all going the next day to the Meadowlands, right? And then in their infinite wisdom, they book Kane and the Big Show in a steel cage in Trenton with nobody there. There's like 1,500 people there. So I'm already in a not great mood because just all this stuff. I'm like, really? Could we not just have an entertaining night instead of a steel cage? But pay-per-view tomorrow. But okay.
I'm sorry not to cut you. Was it the blue cage?
The
old school.
Yeah,
so
the one if you hit it in if you would just brush up against it, you hurt yourself. Yeah. There was nothing soft anywhere in this thing. Yeah. So poor Paul, and he's all nervous for some reason. Well, he's all nervous because I said he was trying to fit in, and there had kind of been some stuff. Anyway,
kind of a little bit of stuff.
So
nothing we need to elaborate on at the moment.
Yeah. So we get in there, and it's about just 4 or 5 minutes in the match. And he would always say, I'm sorry before he'd chop you in the chest, right? It's preemptive apology. because he's about to tater.
Hit you with a frying pan.
Yeah, I mean, it was like cast iron skillet.
It's like a dad right before he whips you.
Yeah,
You know,
it's like, bro,
sometimes
did you get that thing at Cracker Barrel, or what is that anyway? So he's got all this. We're in a steel cage. He can run me into this. He can do all this stuff, right? All of which I can make look good, but the pain involved is minimal and the discomfort to my body. Well, he bends me over the top rope, and he's like, sorry. And I went, me too. And he had this weird look on his face. Like, what do you mean? So he slaps me. I drilled him right in the face. And we went on about another minute, and that was the end of the match. And then afterwards, though, I thought, he's 7 feet tall and 500 pounds. I don't know if that's the smartest thing I've ever done in my entire life.
I don't think so
Sometimes
either.
You just got to roll the dice. And if you don't get eaten, then
yeah, I survived. It was good.
And then it helps your street cred down the line. Like,
it was
hey,
good.
man,
It was
Kane,
good.
he blasted Big Show.
Now, what was the conversation in the locker room after that
I was
match?
like, Paul, why did you do that? He's like, why did you punch me? I was like, why did you slap me in the chest when you had all these things that you could run me into and bounce me off of? It was fine. It was fine. It was just another lesson.
Just another lesson.
Yeah, just another lesson. Learning tree.
He learned many.
He did.
He did. Well, see, his very first match,
Oh my God,
match
Kane.
ever, he wins the world title.
Yeah.
That's how his career starts.
Yeah.
In WCW, right?
Okay.
Comes in, I don't know, did he beat Terry? Was that who it was?
Yeah.
So he beats
first
Hogan.
night, Hogan.
He beats Terry in his very first match. He beats Hulk Hogan. And then, in that system down there with those personalities and those, man, he was a handful when he come up.
Yeah.
He thought his didn't stink, and it was going to be his way, and he was in for a rude awakening.
And when you're that big, I mean, it just.
Well, yeah, at the time he was a natural bully.
Yeah.
And he would talk to people, and I would just like be. No. That's not how we do not talk about.
Do you remember the SummerSlam that we had in Minneapolis? And it was me and X-Pac against you and Show.
Yes.
You literally slapped
Oh my God.
You just slapped your own tag team partner. It was a hard tag. Was this
it was, come here, whack.
on a pay-per-view? Okay.
I was a little different then.
What happened there? What's going on here? I need to let's lay the groundwork here.
He was doing great, like he was beating X-Pac up, and then he did something. He stepped on him or something, that
Something
was just
stupid that a
something
giant
dumb.
wouldn't do.
Yeah, then you told him. I think you told him not to do it before.
I told him I'd do it, and it made him look like, being a giant, especially back then. Now it's kind of a curse to be a giant, but back then, if you were like that big, it's just a blessing. That's just like what Coach John Wooden. You can't teach height, right?
Yeah.
And you can't teach that size, and he's a really good athlete.
Great athlete.
Especially for as big as he is. But he's a really good athlete, and he does things. Sometimes he would do things that would just go like, oh, a giant would not do that.
Yeah.
A killer. And that's what we're trying to. We're trying to make him.
Yeah.
And he would do something silly, and then I just like, I would tell people. I would tell them like 2 or 3 times, and then finally it's just like, I have to up the stakes here because you're not listening to me, and you're harming your own career, and I'm trying to help you, but you got to listen to me. And I think he did it. I don't even know what he stepped on.
Yeah, I forget what it was.
It was something. I just lost it a little bit.
He literally said, "Come here." Bam! I think it's gonna be 3-on-1 now.
Yeah, granted, like, he could have killed me and ate me, and just.
We were so fortunate he didn't realize how big he really was.
Yeah.
I think that was the case. I think we had ganged up on him enough, like he knew. All right, if he jumped on me, he was going to have to jump on Kane. He was going to have to jump on Godfather.
Yeah.
So I think there was enough people that like this wasn't worth it.
Thank goodness.
It wasn't worth it. Maybe I should listen. And it's funny because later on, like I would hear him telling some other kid, right? Some of the things that I had told him, and I was just thinking, what a full circle moment. But he was. Yeah, he about sealed his own fate one day. We used to play dominoes, and there was no money in change. It wasn't money. It was pride.
For pride,
Which
By the way, I just wanted to mention that I am still a little surprised about what do you call it? When wrestlers say they used to play dominoes, because dominoes is primarily a Hispanic thing. So like you're not really, you don't really know who actually plays it except for like Hispanics. But it's kind of interesting to still hear that Undertaker would all right, cool, J Rod, that Undertaker would say that they used to play dominoes. Like, I wonder who started it.
is far.
Not who started dominoes the game, but like who in the back in wrestling in the locker room was like, I'm gonna teach you guys how to play dominoes. Yeah, I heard that too, that Savio Vega would do that. I might have to ask him one day. Guarantee they got it from Hispanic wrestlers. They probably did, but I just wanted to know the person that was like, we're gonna play some dominoes today, guys. I'm gonna teach you.
Far
more important than money.
Yeah. And I think Kane and I were partners. We were playing partners. Kane and I were partners, and Show was playing with somebody else.
Was it A-Train?
May have been A-Train. Yeah. A-Train. And so once somebody plays your last domino, you add up the points, everybody, then the other team, they do the dishes, right? They shake the dominoes. Well, I think Kane I think you're the one that caught him. Anyway, he knew where the 5-5 was, and his hands are so big, like he palms the 5-5 so that he has it.
Oh.
That's a big score in domino, right? So he's boom, 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 and then he pulls it back, and he gets called out, and oh my, it was not pretty. It was what? My hands are big. They got my hands. And then it made it worse, right? Like, not only are you cheating, now you're going to lie when you're cold busted. I think that may have been one of the most mad that I actually ever was at him for real. Like, is trying to cheat at dominoes. It was you don't cheat at dominoes. I don't care integrity. I don't care what you do outside in the bars or whatever else. Just don't cheat on the domino table. And
This is fascinating to me because I'm half Puerto Rican, so like it's a fascinating conversation to me. Very fascinating.
I think he got banned for a while. I don't think he was allowed to play for a while because he'd walk by all mopey.
So this didn't have to go to wrestler's court at all. This was
the judge summary judgment.
It was right then and there.
Yeah,
it was.
So were you ever part of any wrestler's courts?
No, I was a bailiff once.
Okay.
He was a bailiff once.
I mean, that's
I obviously I wasn't involved in any of the prosecution or any of the actual undertaking of the justice court. Justice being served. It was Brian Gerwitz who was one of the writers, and he was accused, I think, of having too cozy a relationship with Edge and Christian by Bob Holly, of all people. Wow. Yeah. Wow.
That's not going to turn out good.
Yeah. So I was in charge of keeping order in the courtroom. I didn't really do anything, but I just.
Well, I mean, you didn't have to.
That
When
was
you're
really
standing
big.
there, you're not going to have to.
That was big. That was a big turnout too.
Yeah,
that room was full. Everybody was there.
And Brian didn't know, actually how you survive wrestler's court, which is with Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels, and sorry to everybody.
Yeah,
it's usually
takes care of it. He didn't understand that. So he's actually trying to make a defense case. I'm sitting there like,
all you had to do is just bring a bottle of Jack.
Just bribe the judge, dude. Yeah, and you're good.
Bailiff's over there going,
just bribe the judge.
Yeah, just bribe the judge and you're good.
Undertaking a wrestler's court is hilarious. Yeah.
No, quit. You're making it worse.
You are making it worse. Just get the Jack Daniels
shut up.
and you'll be
just
fine.
Shut up. Getting whiskey, say you're sorry. Everything will be great.
That's simple.
It's all it took. But
yeah.
Chat. Hold on, I have to pause because I'm looking at I don't even remember how many friends we had last. We're up to 584 in like friends and like subscribers. I don't remember what it was before. Wow. Thank you guys for liking and subscribing and becoming part of the family of the Square Circle podcast here. Thank you guys.
When did y'all first meet? Mark, we got a new sponsor.
We do, man. This is a big one.
DraftKings.
DraftKings.
This weekend, got something big happening. And
Okay, I'm
when
sorry.
did you actually get a deal to be able to be a professional wrestler?
It's like, when did I get trained and all that?
Yeah, like when was all?
So
what year
my
was
first
that?
full-time job was in Puerto Rico. That would have been 1994. Okay. Before that, I was kind of just doing independence and just doing whatever work I could. I started training like 91, and then, like I said, from there. Back then, what you would do was we didn't have like the performance or anything like that. I mean, you would get a little bit of training, and you would just start.
Yeah,
hit the road.
Try and find some place to get booked. Yeah.
Exactly, it was all on the job.
Do you remember your first match?
Yeah, I do. It was at the, it was in St. Louis, Missouri at the time as a Stegton banquet hall, overlooking the Missouri River.
Banquet hall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mine was in the Knights of Columbus.
Yeah. It was a nice wedding venue.
Yeah. Do you remember who you wrestled?
He has a guy called the Night Master.
The Night Master.
Yeah, he's the guy that he'd give me a little training and stuff.
Yeah.
And actually,
I guess,
he had a
right?
barn. It was like close to Kingdom City, Missouri, which is literally smack dab in the middle of Missouri. And he had a barn, and in the barn he had a hayloft. That's where the ring was.
In the hayloft?
In the hayloft. That was my first lesson.
Second level, second floor here?
Brother, yeah, I mean, yeah, brother.
That's take a bad bump.
That's some trust right there. That's a good barn.
Yeah.
Oh my! Who was the first quote unquote real, like where you walked in the ring, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm standing in front of this guy.
Oh man, it's Lawler actually.
Yeah.
Well, I went down and did some shots for them, as the Christmas tree.
I've got a list of your
I may as well just preemptively take care of that. But yeah, no, seriously, I mean, because Lawler was like a huge deal.
Yep.
I mean, you've seen him, especially, this is back early 90s, so it wasn't that long removed from the Andy Kaufman stuff and all that, and he was legendary, man. So, and it was like in Kennett, Missouri, so it was one of those little bitty towns that we were talking about before. But yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, man, this is Jerry Lawler. How awesome is this? Yeah, and I'm dressed as a Christmas tree. That's not quite as awesome, but it's cool.
Yeah.
So
you got to look at the positive, right?
Exactly.
Everybody loves Christmas.
So you were the Christmas creature.
Yes.
How many matches did you?
Oh man, that only lasted
short runs.
Yeah, it only lasted about 2 weeks.
Only a season.
Yeah, it was only the holiday season.
October, he's like jack-o'-lantern.
Oh my
Thank
God.
goodness they didn't call me like Easter and have me like the demented
bunny.
bunny for
Easter.
Like,
We're so close to being like. Your tag team could have been like the holidays or something. The Christmas creature. You're the turkey egg.
What?
Yeah, man.
I mean, you could have been Eggman that comes out of the turkey from Thanksgiving.
We could have ruined all of them.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, y'all could have been a holiday tag team here.
Yeah, that'd have been terrible.
It would have been awful. We wouldn't have been able to get booked.
And early on, you definitely had some different characters. I'm gonna name off a couple that I found online here. Okay, we've got Angus King.
Yes. Yeah, that was my own name.
Angus
because I was
King.
a fan of AC/DC, so it was like, Angus, and Angus
I had
just sounded
AC/DC
cool.
playing in the car.
Yeah, and I was just trying. I mean,
Cupid,
I just made
nah.
that up myself.
Okay. Yeah. You had Bruiser Mastino.
That was one match. That was a joke, actually, on me.
Okay.
Yeah. I had a match against Sting in WCW. It was my only match in WCW.
And it was against Sting.
Mm-hmm.
You wrestled Sting, and this guy did.
I wrestled Sting.
Well, over there, but not as Undertaker.
Well,
Yeah.
Ain't my fault.
Yeah. See, there you go.
Why you starting to start?
I'm just, hey, the fans want what they want.
Well, hey,
Oh my
you know
God.
what? You can want in one hand and crap in the other, and see which one fills
you
up
not
faster.
cussing over here. You got the
Wow.
mayor and yeah. So
Wow.
I'll say this about Sting. He was awesome. I was absolute nobody. It was just a job match. And he was great. And afterwards, came in and said I did a good job and thanked me and everything. So he was really cool and very classy about it.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And of course the Christmas tree creature.
It's just Christmas creature, but I look like
Or Christmas creature, yes.
My mom made that outfit.
Wow,
she did.
Your mom had
My mom made the outfit.
I remember that.
And it even had integrated lights. So you know how Jericho had his cute little jacket? I beat him to it with my Christmas lights. I'm the Christmas creature.
Your lights worked? I didn't
My
know
lights
that.
worked. I had a battery pack and everything. And my mom did that.
Did you actually wear the outfit in the ring, wrestle as a Christmas tree?
I wore the
This
outfit
wasn't
around
a
the
thing
house,
that
Do you
man.
not know anything about?
I've never seen this. I've never.
He obviously doesn't know, but you have to ask, right? Like, man, I don't know if we can find it. Wait, what? Oh, that's just a picture. What is? Is there no video? Wow, there's no video. It's a picture. Okay, so I don't know how accurate this is, but hold on, let me switch. For those that wanted to see the picture, I don't know how accurate it is, but there it is. Oh. What do we even say to that? Nah, it's on YouTube. The match is on YouTube. Oh. You're welcome.
Ever.
About Lawler's territory?
I was dressed as a Christmas tree in the ring, Matt, with lights. Actually, it looked like a swamp thing because it kind of had the
swamp thing.
He's not wrong. He did look like Swamp Thing. He's not wrong.
The garland kind of made the face look like the swamp creature.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The garland. And you had that. Wait, didn't you have like peppermint socks on?
I did have peppermint socks, yes. Yes, it was
That's awesome.
It was straight out of Dr. Seuss. I was like the Grinch that stole Christmas, just bigger and not as talented.
Big Grinch.
What we do for money.
Wow.
You're right.
That's great.
That's awesome.
I forgot about the peppermint socks.
You were Doomsday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How long of a run did that have?
That was actually Puerto Rico and then USWA. So that was on and off for a couple years. That was Doomsday at the time. Doomsday was he'd killed Superman in DC Comics.
Okay.
So I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah.
You killed Superman.
Yeah. I killed a couple territories with that one.
Beat me to it.
Darn it.
Then you were Mike Unabomb.
No. There's never, that's not true.
So that's not a real one?
No.
Were you Unabomb?
Unabomb, yes.
Okay, so you weren't Mike Unabomb.
No.
All right, I thought you just got creative there and added or took down the mic.
No.
Sid Powers?
Nope.
Never a Sid Powers.
Nope.
Spartacus?
Yes, that was Germany.
Okay.
Avance thought that was a cool name, so he called me Spartacus. And then
That's
everybody's
pretty
like,
cool
I
name.
am Spartacus.
Spartacus.
I am
I am
Spartacus.
Spartacus.
Yes.
And then, of course, everyone knows the Isaac Yankum.
Yep.
Yeah, DDS.
Yeah.
You were Fake Diesel.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally Kane.
Yes.
Do
Now
you-
ask me which one was my favorite.
Which one is your favorite?
That's a Kane. No, Kane.
But if you think about it, your career, you probably went through more tough gimmicks than probably any other professional
I
wrestler.
don't know about that. I mean,
Really?
I had a few that were not. The one thing you have to remember is just starting out, so you just get everything you could. So I don't know that I had. I mean, I had some that weren't great, obviously, but you have I think a Terry Taylor and like the Red Rooster and
Right.
Fred Ottman and you know,
Yeah.
the whole Shockmaster thing. So I had my fair share, but I don't know if I had the most or the worst, actually.
Yeah, well, I will just say though, it's amazing that you were able to go on and take Kane to the levels. Well, I mean, Isaac Yankem. I mean, you're a huge human being, so you already catch people's attention. But
yeah,
so Isaac Yankem, and then Fake Diesel. I mean, those are nails in the coffin
for a lot of careers.
Yeah, and if you don't have the right attitude.
Yeah,
and the right mindset. No,
because also
it's a little demoralizing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and I mean that's the whole thing. Like when you're in a character like Isaac Yankem, I mean, you've got to be thinking they're not going to put the title on Isaac Yankem.
Yeah, you have to realize where your ceiling is right away when you get a gimmick.
Yeah,
like I'll tell you who I would have never thought would get to the heights from where he started would be, like Triple H.
Yeah.
The fancy blue blood Connecticut, Rudy Poo, to take it to become the Game and all of that. That's a really unusual kind of deal to be able to take something, and for him to stay Triple H the whole time. And take it from being thing to riding in on WrestleMania on a big skulled out chopper was a testament to.
Were you ever, when you were like Isaac Yankem?
I think I'm sorry to interrupt. I think one thing to keep in mind is, the business was evolving. Just they were taking it different directions. And when I first came in as the Isaac Yankem character in '95, it was very PG.
Yeah,
and it was very cartoon, literally cartoon driven. So you had like T.H. Hopper, the Thug. Just all these really over the top, literal characters,
comic book feel to it,
and that's where the company was really going. And then I think what happened was they realized that with Austin, and I think Austin was a bit of a mistake. Like, well, I don't want to say a mistake; it was an accident. In that,
I don't think.
This guy's catching fire, and he's doing it by being very cutting edge and very real.
Yeah.
As opposed to these over here. And that's when everything shifted when they realized too, and then WCW is starting to make their run and they realized, okay, we have to do something different.
A little bit more reality based.
And I understand and then they've done it, every once in a while they kind of go that direction because they're trying to get, just make it more family friendly. And obviously, that's a huge consumer base. But that's where we were at that point. It wasn't like, oh, we're going to stick this kid with a terrible gimmick. It was like, we think this is great because it's kind of, the epitome of where everything is going right now. I just couldn't sink my teeth into it. But I'm up to.
Now, when you were like Isaac Yankem and you were these other characters, were you ever sitting there thinking, I know I got more?
Oh, yeah.
I've got more than this.
Literally, when they told me the Isaac Yankem deal, I was like, really? Really? I'm 6'8" and 300 pounds, and you're going to make me a wrestling dentist?
Yeah.
Kids are scared of dentists.
I mean, hey, I don't know if it gets brought up, but like Britt Baker is a legit dentist. So, I mean, we now have a dentist in wrestling.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah. So yes, and then you see like Undertaker and just all these other like cool characters, and I was like, yeah, man, this is there has to be something more for this. So unfortunately, almost immediately, I was like, yeah, this is just not going to work for me.
Yeah. Were you ever watching guys like Taker and just trying to pull a little bit from what they were doing?
I stole everything from him.
Well,
I mean, Tombstone.
I stole everything from him.
I took it all.
The Kane characters.
Mint Mobile Unlimited
Oh my
Premium
God.
Wireless. How did you get 30-30?
With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring up.
It's actually really easy for you.
Take your repackage.
Okay, all I got to do is I'm going to give him on this video game real quick. One of these moves. All right,
Pretty much, I was like, oh, he does that. Okay, I'll do that.
That's funny.
I don't have to come up with anything. This is awesome. When did they come to you and both of y'all about the Kane character? When did that happen?
That was after I had gone back. You were back in Tennessee as Unabomb, and they sent me down because they were doing great business already, from what I gathered, and they asked if I would go down and work with him, and he'd come a long way from when his tryout to where he was then, and I went back and I was like, we got to get this guy up here. He's just like he's back then, I don't know how they do it. They even worry about it, or they just figure somebody's good. But back in the day, man, you looked for people that you could work with. And I went down there and we tore it down at the Civic Center in Knoxville. And I went back and I was like, we got to get this guy's ready for the show. And I think it wasn't too much longer.
Yeah, it came up.
Yeah.
Well, but then that was when we had the Isaac Yankem and all that, characters.
Oh, that's right. You came up from
that
Isaac.
got me in.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, yes, yeah. I'm twisted.
But I was back in Tennessee.
That's right.
But I was working with Lawler, actually.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah. And I don't remember when. I don't know when they told you. I can't remember. It was when Vader had gotten arrested in Kuwait. And
this story.
That was kind of the impetus for the whole
Vader
deal.
got arrested in Kuwait.
Oh, that's a different. That's
That's a great story.
All right. Okay.
I don't know, should we tell that story before we get into the?
Yeah, that's a much better story, actually.
Because I'm a huge Vader fan. And,
this is great.
And I've been to Kuwait, and yeah.
All right, so at the time, I happened to be world champion, right? So we're in Kuwait. I think we had been to India. We'd been to a bunch of different places, but we're in Kuwait, and we're basically doing the equivalent of one of the morning shows here, like Good Morning America, whatever, right? It's the Kuwaiti version. And so there's the interviewer is sitting directly across from me. There's a table, and then there's a couch over here where Vader is sitting, he's sitting much closer to the interviewer than I am. I'm the farthest away, and we're promoting that me and him I'm going to defend the title tonight against Vader. And so we're doing our regular spiel, and I'm not saying a whole lot, but I'm saying just enough to stay in character and promote and everything else. And then the guy asked the question. He just couldn't help himself. He just had to ask, like,
don't ask that question.
Isn't it fake?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Don't ask that question.
Now so I'm sitting. I'm about like this. I'm sitting like this. I've got the belt sitting in my lap like this. I've got my hat, my shades on, and I'm just sitting there. And this guy. Now inside. Now on the outside, I look as cool as can be. Right. Now on the inside, I'm like, oh no, he didn't. Because I knew what Leon was going to do, and he did. Yep. He set up on the edge of that thing, and he grabbed that guy. Thank goodness. I mean, he didn't. I think he just shook him a little bit.
Yeah, he didn't hit him.
The guy didn't appreciate getting manhandled like that one bit.
Well, yeah.
So then they shut everything down, and Jerry Briscoe was he was the producer that was with us, the road agent. He got me, grabbed me, told me to get in the car like right away. So
it was awesome because the whole time, like, Leon's got the guy Mark's just sitting there like this.
And I'm like, oh, Leon. I never broke character. I'm like, oh, Leon. I'm thinking in my head, like, oh, Leon, please let him go. Don't hit him, Leon. Please don't hit him. Oh my gosh, they're gonna behead him.
Mark.
Yes, sir.
Our great sponsor here.
Looking back at Leon. Yeah, he had to stay. We went home. He had to stay like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, we're like at the hotel, like the Kuwaiti army's here to arrest my
Oh God!
Remember they do these graphics on Raw, and it's like a picture of Leon, like,
oh my God!
He's in jail in Kuwait. We're back doing TV.
So he's in jail in Kuwait, and there's no one to work with Undertaker. And that's where they kind of came up with the idea for Kane. And then Man, I can't remember who I talked to, if it was Bruce or who, from a payphone in like Jackson, Tennessee, and he's like, hey, we want to do this thing. And I'm like, that's awesome. And then initially it was just supposed to be like one-off. Yeah, it was a one-off. And then Vince, I guess, liked the idea so much that.
Well, there was a little bit of a reaction.
Yeah, I think what happened
was
in
the
that
debut.
cage that night. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that won the audience over very much. So.
Yeah, that was. You just know, like when you're in there, you do certain things. And some you don't have to say anything because obviously there was no words spoken, but you just have a feel when something special's about to happen or there's the potential for it. And that night, man, it was. You could feel it.
What was the conversation in the locker room before?
I don't really
before yours and Sean's match.
I don't know that we really spoke a lot other than what we were going to do.
Yeah, we didn't. Now, one of the cool things though is people ask where the pyro cue came from, right?
Yeah,
and that was all him. He's like everything. Kane is the opposite of Undertaker. So at the time he would go out, and this is before you almost got your face burnt off the one time, but he would go out and lift the lights, and there'd be a concussion and flame projectors on the corners of the ring. And he's like, why don't you do the opposite? So it was up and then down and then boom and all that stuff. Yeah, so that was all his idea. And I think, but we walked through it, and that was really about it. I don't think we talked about it.
I think our biggest concern was the door, making sure the door he was going to rip the door off.
Yeah.
That was the biggest concern. And then when you're out there and you're in it and we're face to face, you can just feel the buzz.
Because at that point you've got a Hall of Fame career kind of already in the sack, in my opinion. And so for you though, that was.
Dad had a Hall of Shame career up until that point, so you did
Oh my God, a Hall of Shame.
This has got to be for you walking out there like, holy crap!
Oh yeah,
this is what I've been chasing.
Well, it was awesome, but then it was also like, why'd those guys have to have such a good match too? It's like, and this is, it was a big deal. What WWE I think had done really well is they planted the seeds for Kane, but then they went away from it, and
so you forget,
and
right? You get lost in the match, right? Because at that point, Sean and I had a really long history, and we'd been involved in this angle for such a long time, and like you said, we just planted some seeds along the way, a couple of promos from Paul Bearer, but you get lost in that match and. Undertaker finally getting his hands on Shawn Michaels without any chance of interference and what's going to happen, and exactly what was supposed to happen was happening. I was beating him, to an inch of his life, and then
I messed it up.
He just screwed the whole thing up.
Yeah.
So
in a good way.
Yeah, in a very good way. It changed the hands of time.
But man, I was like, good Lord, these guys are having one of the greatest matches ever, and I'm gonna go out there and just mess the whole thing up. That was my biggest concern.
The door's not gonna come off.
Yes. Oh gosh.
So that'd be worse than the Shockmaster tripping.
Yes.
What's he shaking the door for?
Ooh, that's intimidating.
Oh yeah.
You've got some dude come up and upset with a key. It's not very. It's like, hang on 1 second, guys.
He's got like 50 keys. He's
going through all of them.
Paul's are like, son.
Oh, he lost the keys. You're standing in that ring and y'all are facing off with each other. What was going through your head at that moment? Because I feel like this is finally your moment.
Yeah, no, that was the first time I felt like a real WWE superstar.
Yeah.
Because you had just, again, all the buzz and all the, man, when I first walked out, it was amazing because the place just went silent. No one knew what was going on, right? And then literally it was almost like people with one mind realized what was happening, because obviously the folks in the arena couldn't hear the announcers.
Yeah.
So they had to figure it out themselves. But it was just an eruption. And I was like, oh my gosh, man, so you have that adrenaline at that point too, because you realize, wow, this is working, so it was probably the first time that I felt like I belonged there, and not just as, you know, kind of an also-ran character, but in the spotlight.
Yeah.
What was also really, really, really cool about the fact is you're debuting a new character. It's not like somebody had worked somewhere else and it is coming in and, you know, it's all been stooged off by. This is an introduction of a brand new character. I was able to do it as Undertaker, and now here it's come around again, full circle, and get that kind of buzz, that kind of feel from a character they have nothing. They're not. It's completely brand new to them. So I mean, it can go either one of two ways. They can either crap on it or like holy crap, which they did. They were just like mesmerized. And then when he got into the ring and we're face to face and they can see how big he is like, oh, this is going to be good.
And then his expressions and the way he sold it was amazing. And really that's actually what sold the whole deal. Cause like, you know, the Undertaker never gets confused. The Undertaker never looks anxious.
Never looks scared.
Never looks scared. Yeah. And then here he is, you know, with those emotions. And that's actually, I think, what was the most important part. Because if I had to come out and he'd just been like, oh, who's the big guy? You know, but no big deal. But the way he sold it, everybody's like, oh, even the Undertaker is like intimidated by whoever this is. Oh, that's got to be Kane, right? So it was just very well done by everyone involved, I think.
Yeah. What were the conversations like when it came to how you were going to work in the ring? Because it was, I mean, how did you feel about the fact that this guy's going to be using your finisher, this guy's going to use a lot of your moves, or did you just go, this makes sense?
It makes perfect sense. Why? You have to realize, like, if you go into the layers of this story, like Paul Bearer for all of these years was supposed to have had him kept away and turning him into this killing machine, this monster that he's going to unleash one day. So when you start thinking about it, the layers of this, of course he's going to watch everything I've done.
Yeah.
And he's going to be bigger than I am. He's going to be able to do them better than I can. It just makes the story that much richer. And then by the time we actually got to Mania, which is the first time that we end up working as Kane against Undertaker, I have a viable opponent that like, this guy's, he might have his hands full here.
Yeah.
You know, and that's exactly what we were able to create. So
did you ever pick his brain on actually using those moves? Like, how do you do this?
No, it wasn't so much the moveset.
There's not a lot for me here to
it
like
was the
talk about.
attitude and just the mindset, right? And also, you know, every once in a while I'd have to go to him and say, hey, so-and-so doesn't want to do, because I'd have to look really strong. I'm, you know, going to WrestleMania at the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, Mark, so-and-so doesn't want to do business. It was like, okay, if they don't have me, you know, send them to me and I'll talk to them. Okay.
Wow.
So I go back and say, hey, Mark says to do this. Okay. That happened a lot too. But no, seriously, it wasn't so much as the move set as it was the stuff like that. It was actually creating the character, you know, and all too often now, I think one of the things that, not to speak for you, but I think you'd agree with this about the wrestling business, is it's gotten so much to be about the moves and not about the story and the characters. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, that's what it was all about. The moves were really secondary. You know, if I'd have done different moves, okay, you know, there was a reason for doing the same one and that he did. That's exactly what he just explained. That really, you know, I was like a copycat killer, okay, doing the same things and proving that I could do it better than he could. But the harder part was understanding the character and understanding the story that we were trying to tell.
You guys never had to touch each other for, you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, well, I mean, that was the story. Like, he's trying to provoke me into this fight, and I'm trying. Like, I've just got dropped on me. This brother that I thought I lost all these years ago is alive. So I'm trying to process that while he's trying to kill me, and you know, he forced my hand into. That's where I finally had to take the fight. So
yeah,
I mean, it's just, man, it's. I mean, we often say it, and I don't put my stuff over very much, but it definitely, I feel like one of the best stories.
Yeah,
that
it's not
WWE's
one of the best. It's the greatest story.
I would say
it is.
I'd
It's
say
one of my
the greatest
favorites.
ever. Yeah.
For as long as it lasted too.
Yeah.
Do you guys?
It's one of my favorites.
And I think this is potentially a question in the Q&A section, but I was thinking about this too. Do you wish that your singles run against each other before you became Brothers of Destruction actually lasted maybe a little bit longer than it did?
I don't know, only in the sense of like we needed the depth of not us being separate with different people.
Yeah.
I think it was a tremendous way to debut Glenn. There's not a better way to, strap the rocket, to his ass
yeah.
to, I think it was another one.
$100, man.
Man.
At $100. Making
What?
all kinds of money over here with the knows.
Oh.
I was doing so well, but now I catch myself now when I do it. But it was just always there too. Like you have to think about how long. We would work and then we would move away from each other. Then we'd come back to each other. Like we had a run late, even in the 2000s when you were champion.
Yes.
I couldn't beat him. Like everything. I think you beat me three straight pay-per-views.
3 in a row. That's.
It was just always. It was always smoldering. Like if you needed it, we can throw some gas on it. Either way, either as a tag team or one-on-one.
Did you enjoy working as a tag team, or did you enjoy the singles matches more?
Both.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the singles matches, but I did enjoy the tag team more because that was. I felt that part of the audience, once the single matches were almost just like the prelude to the actual, the really cool stuff.
Prelude.
Which was, let's just see Kane and Undertaker destroy everybody. The problem we had with the tag team matches, then we're just both so strong characters that literally it always turned into handicap matches. We couldn't have like a normal tag match because
nobody's going to beat.
Yeah, no one could beat us if it's both of us. So generally it ended up, which is a story to itself. But after a while, there's only so much of those that you could do. Yeah. And I'd argue too with us as singles as well. There's only so much we could do. Our styles are a lot alike anyway. We're big guys, both of us. It's almost like after you'd seen one, you're going to kind of probably see variations of that, but it's not like we could do a bunch of different things. It's cool you could do the gimmick matches. I mean, my favorite match of all time, at least in my top 2 or 3, is the Inferno match. Because I thought it was a really good match, but then you also add the element of having, the really cool.
This match has vividly imprinted in my mind. I remember the Inferno match. For some reason, I like to reference that whenever someone is talking about matches with me and stuff. But yeah, that's one of the matches that I remember growing up and seeing live. I'm gonna take a little break to walk around, wake myself up. I am pretty hungry, so I don't know what I'm gonna snack on. But if anybody that's lurking and or watching wanna help feed my hunger, it is right there. Just click on the link. But yeah, I'm gonna take a mini little break just to get some energy back in. Okay, so I have made the decision that after the Inferno match, we are going to switch and probably talk about WWE Raw, just because of we did not cover that, and I wanted to cover it, and it's in the thumbnail. But I do know that I'm probably gonna get copyright if we cover it. Man, let's hear about the Inferno match.
Gimmick and all the stuff.
Visual.
By the way, I do want to mention that I am not like other streamers that would down energy drinks. I do not believe in energy drinks, and I do not believe in consuming more caffeine than your body should have. So, you know, that's why the treat option is there. You know, that's why the treat option is there. So, that's why it goes around. I am snacking on something to like stay awake and stuff, but that's not like food. But yeah, I just don't, as a streamer, I don't like energy drinks, and I don't want to consume way more caffeine than what I need to, because then that messes you up on a healthy level. That really does. So yeah, so just keep in mind, if the treat stream link, if it like goes around, because I do have the timers enabled for the chat, it's because I don't believe in energy drinks.
The fire.
How was it like being in the ring though?
Not a lot of air in there.
Yeah, it was hot.
It was hot.
It was like really hot.
Yeah, and that wasn't a 5-minute match. It wasn't a 10-minute match. It was,
No,
you guys were in there for a while.
And you couldn't, like, you couldn't get that close to the flames, because if you did, you were going to get burnt. It was pretty intense.
Yeah. That's
and
you know, was it for that match, by the way? What was
it? Wasn't mine.
It wasn't mine.
In fact, I think we both went, what? You're going to put us in a barbecue pit?
Usually
in a barbecue
like
pit
is done from somebody that's not going to be anywhere close to that match. Yeah.
We both were like, what in the world were you talking about?
You go, like, what? I don't fire. Are y'all crazy?
Well,
we have to do this.
Yes. And here, I keep on just having this thought, like, how did I get knocked out of the ring? Did I get knocked off the top rope to the floor, I think? But then you did the jump.
I did the leap.
And all I could think of is like, what happens if someone's foot gets caught in the rope and they go down in the... It's like, that's a really bad day, man.
2 inches away.
Yeah, exactly.
At any given time.
Yeah, there was that, I mean, legitimate element. Anytime you get in the ring, obviously, there's a level of danger, and just cause, even the most simple move you can get hurt on. But when you're talking about that, putting basically a grate with fire around the ring, and now you have to do all this stuff, okay.
We did it.
We did it.
Yeah. Okay.
We did
let's
it.
do it.
Yeah, and when they looked at you and said, and by the way, you're the one that's going to catch on fire, what was your reaction to that? Like,
okay, so here's the deal. And this is one of the great stories of all time.
Mark, you like to work out?
Yeah, I love to work out.
Yeah.
That was Sunday. Saturday, we have a show, I think, in Fayetteville, North Carolina. So you weren't on the one in Fayetteville, but they'd booked like Austin and all these, Rock, I think, and all these guys. So I'm supposed to be wrestling Vader in Fayetteville. And we're also going to do a walkthrough of the Inferno match in Greensboro. So they're like, what we're going to do is we'll have a car take you and Paul to Fayetteville. They'll pick you up at Greensboro, take you to Fayetteville. You'll be on first. You have a quick match with Vader, come back to Fayetteville, and then you guys can rehearse and do whatever. Because we hadn't even seen the setup.
Yeah, we have no idea.
We don't even know what it looks
clue.
like. So Paul and I jump in this dadgum, like 1967 Cadillac. It was the worst limousine I've ever seen in my entire life. It looked like Dustin's car from the Backyard Brawl. Like it was gold, but it was ridiculous. Windows wouldn't roll down. So we take off.
Awesome.
Driver's driving us. Paul and I, we've been on the road. We fall asleep, right? So we're pulling up. You know, I wake up. We're pulling up. You got to put money there. Sorry, I said but we're pulling up to wherever. It looked like the arena in Fayetteville, and we realized we're not in Fayetteville. Okay, we'd gone 2 hours the wrong way.
Oh my God!
Now this is before cell phones and GPS and all that, right?
Oh my gosh!
So we've got to find a gas station. Paul calls the office. You're like, we went 2 hours the wrong way, you know, and it wasn't us. You hired this car. So we've got to have you there because like Austin he'd been advertised but couldn't have been there, right?
Yeah.
All this stuff. So we have to have you there. I'm like, okay. So we take off. Now we're driving 4 hours the other way. Okay. I'm getting dressed in the car, get out, run into the building. Like Leon and I start fighting in the back. We fight out to the ring. We roll through the ring. We fight to the back. I get back in the car. I was there like total of 5 minutes. We drive back to Greensboro. And by this time, it's like 1:30 in the morning. And like, yeah, we're not going to do the rehearsal tonight. So like, come on, man. So the next day we finally get to see this apparatus, which like we are putting our lives right there. And they're like, okay, now Glenn, go out and work with the stunt guys, and they're gonna show you how to do a burn. This is like 4 hours before the match, okay?
Yep.
So, but we had like, I don't want to get too much in the weeds, but we had like this fake sleeve. They can do the technology for the fire is a lot better now. They can actually put the gel on your skin and do the burn on your skin, which is wild. But anyway, so we had like this, like we had a Nomax sleeve with all this cooling gel, all this stuff, so I don't get burnt. And I had to put my arm under the ring, and they switch it out. He's fighting. That's where he like put the snare drum on Paul Bearer's head, which is awesome. And he's fighting Leon, fighting with Paul Bearer. So I'm in the back of the Greensboro Coliseum with these stunt guys, you know, and they're putting this stuff in my arm, and they're getting ready to light my arm, right? And they're like, you know, so when are we doing this? I'm like, tonight. And they're like, if we were to do this for a movie, it would be like a 2-week setup. I was like, we got 3 hours, guys. Welcome to the WWE.
Yes, welcome to the
WWE. So they light my arm on fire, and I'm sitting there looking at my arm, and it's on fire. And I go to move, like, no, don't move that way. You'll inhale the flames. You got to keep your arm behind you, your head like this, because if you move this way, it'll go right in your mouth. Yeah. So, and then, as soon as you start feeling any sort of tingling, hit the deck, and we'll come out and we'll spray you with fire extinguishers. But you have to do it. You can't wait, because once you start feeling tingling, that means the cooling gel's evaporated, and you're about 2 seconds away from 3rd-degree burns. Yes!
Wow.
Exciting.
I'm like, now, I have to keep all this in mind while I'm also having a match with him, doing all these things. And then what happens is, man, we do the deal. I'm getting ready to get lit on fire. He's punching me, kind of driving me back. And this hand, it's kind of dead, because this is the hand that's got all the stuff on it to do the burn. And I'm really trying to exaggerate getting hit with this hand. Well, then I throw this hand in the dadgum fire. And this is not protected. So then I'm like, and then he hits me. I'm throwing this one.
Oh, gosh.
The things that we would do for money. Yeah, man, we didn't even get to see it. When did you even see the thing, man?
Not till I walked out, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think it was.
Yeah, people are always like, did you rehearse?
Big Foley moments.
Yeah.
You walk out, you're like, oh, crap. Why are you up there?
How much time do you take to rehearse? Well, apparently not enough on that one. But.
So what they did is they had a switch where they'd hit the switch, and then everything would blow up. Like,
yeah.
And then it would kind of go back. They were always on fire, but then they would.
Yeah, it was like a small flame for the most part. Yeah,
we take a big bump and it would fire up, and make sure you're not close to the edge when you take the bumps, and it's all this like stuff that you had to remember in addition to just having a normal match.
Right. I remember, I did that big flying clothesline and rolled. It was rolling, and they hit it, and I was just like, "Oh, wrong way, back this other way."
Yeah.
But that's just a day in the life. Right there.
Was, day in the life of a WWE wrestler,
especially in that time period.
So, for you,
Okay, because I think now we're getting into the mask one. Like, okay. That's a very good question. I'll put this picture as we discuss and listen to some WWE stuff. If you guys have not already hit that like button, please hit that like button. I guess the most I could do is like 3.5 hours. I'm pushing it today. I don't know why, but I'm pushing it today.
Wix gives you the power of AI to build the website you need. With full
I don't know if it's gonna sound through the thing.
We got any dogs barking in Portland?
This is so loud in my ears.
I told you to stay away. And yet here you are with this relentless pursuit for my Intercontinental Championship. So inspiring. What you're doing out here, trying to prove to everybody, the world, your family, that you can do this all by yourself, that you don't need the help of your family to succeed as a single star here. Did my homework a little bit since the last time you and I spoke. 14 years you've been here.
You mean like pausing it? I don't think they're gonna copyright claim the what do you call it? The audio. Like that'll be pretty stupid. If their music was playing, then yeah.
14, it's a long time. There's no doubt you're a star, Jay. Big star. One of the biggest stars in WWE. They love you. They love chanting Yeet. They love main event Jey Uso. But the funny thing is, I've managed to do more as a single superstar in 6 months than you've done in your whole career.
That was pretty, like, I mean, that is true. I would have liked to see the Usos do That's true, but I mean, like, we're still protected under fair use. So, fair use is basically like us listening to something, pausing, stopping, and talking about it, and trying to give like our 2 cents. But they can't really claim the audio because it's not like they could claim voices. It might just say that like it can't be shown in other territories, which WWE ends up doing that for some odd reason, but we'll be okay. Um yeah. So Braun Breaker is right that honestly I would have liked to see the Usos do a lot more singles matches. Just so that way it would have been better like maybe in the beginning. But even their single matches now are still fine.
Here's the kicker. I did it without my father. I did it without my
Damn.
uncle. I didn't need my family's help. I didn't need the name.
Damn.
I did it all by myself. You want to know why? This is my family. This is what I fight for. I fight for this championship.
He says it.
It fights for me.
If you guys don't know, you guys watching this on the VOD and you did not tune into Monday Night Raw on Monday, obviously, Braun Breaker is talking about the championship title and showing it to Jey Uso by saying that like, he didn't need his family's name. He did it all on his own, and that's because of the championship title. So he's basically fueled by the championship aspect and the championship title.
I'm a dog. That's what I do. And next Monday, when we fight for this Intercontinental Championship, I'm going to expose you, Jay, because you are nothing without your family.
I see it. I see it in you, Braun. You got that dog in you, Oos. Yeah. I promise I'm not gonna take you lightly. But like you said, how long you been here? Yeah, what, 6 months?
I can't believe it's 6 months.
I have been on this roster for 14 years, winning championships while you was in diapers, boy.
You know what? I'll wait.
Next week, we throw hands, huh? Next week, for the Intercontinental Championship, I'm a dog walk your ass. We're gonna see what you about. We're gonna see what you made of. And we're gonna see how long this lasts, because it might end up short and sweet, just like your NFL career.
That was a hard line right there. And then the crazy eye look. The crazy eye look that Braun gives, man. And just so you know, they just fight at the end. I was gonna say this. For everyone that was like, oh, Jay doesn't have like promo skills this, promo skill that, he has it. It's just that what can you really do in Jay's shoes that is supposed to represent, having a good time, having a party, being a huge baby face? Like, not all babyface promos get over. So, when you need Jay, like serious Jay, that's what I should say, serious Jay. When you get serious Jay, that's when the best promos come out. But he cannot really cut a promo if he's the happy-go-lucky. Every single time he comes out, it's a party. Every time he comes out, it's a vibe. And that's what people just want. People just want a vibe in that very moment to feel happy about it. So, like, if he wasn't cutting the best promos, it's because, like, you have to pick and choose which Jey Uso is going to come out on a Monday Night Raw depending on what he's currently doing. Because he's going against Braun Breaker, and Breaker has that chip on his shoulder, and everything that Breakker does is fantastic, and I'm a huge fan of Braun Breaker. This is where Jay needs to get serious, because Braun was really like attacking him on a personal level to remind him that, you know, the Steiners and the Usos never crossed paths. Therefore, automatically Braun is going to think that he is stronger. Braun is going to think that he is automatically what do you call it? There's a word that I don't want to use. Braun is going to think that he's automatically like better. There we go. He's better than Jey Uso because their families never crossed. Therefore, you know, you're not going to know who's the best. So that's what happens. So when Serious Jay comes around, because people have been poking at him and been questioning him, that's when you get the really good promos. But people need to understand that, like, it's okay that if a promo doesn't happen all the time, if you want to like vibe with somebody like a Jey Uso, you could just vibe with them and they could just do whatever promo they want. I mean, that could be a great way to get him back to being a serious person, but Jay for the most part enjoys being the life of the party, the vibe, the guy you can trust. Like I said in my previous episodes and also my previous live streams, that like Jay is the guy that you know for 20 plus years, and he's been there with you every step of the way through the good, bad, and ugly. So he rather do that, and then if it needs to be serious, he can get serious. I just don't think, you know, that much of it for that. But I am excited for their Intercontinental Championship title match. Okay. Well, with all of that being said, I'm going to wrap things up here because I really do need to eat and like get do some other stuff behind the scenes. But yeah, that was for today. We reacted to Vince Russo, the charity wrestling in a way, because I think that was part of a charity, or maybe not. A little bit of the Brothers of Destruction. I thought it would be a little more like upbeat, but it's not. But I still appreciate the Brothers of Destruction. And we went over like a tiny bit of WWE stuff. Not like all the segments, but just a tiny bit of WWE stuff. But I am way more invested in Braun Breaker versus Jey Uso. I'm very invested in that because I enjoy both of their works. Big shout out to College Wrestling Guy. Thank you for sticking around and lurking around. I appreciate you. If you ever want to join the Square Circle Podcast, hit that follow button. If you have not, hit the like button. Do so. Everyone else in chat, do so if you have not. And then even on the VOD, hit that like button and hit that follow button as well. Yeah, I already showed off like the new merchandise, the website, the Discord. So don't mind me if I like spam some stuff. Just for you guys to check out. Just so that way, if you want to be a part of it, that's awesome. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what else to say for my outro. I do appreciate every single one of you guys. We are getting closer and closer to the YouTube partnership program, so that's something that I want to complete before the end of the year, and hopefully we can get there. We're almost there, and when I say almost, like we need like 1,600 of like watch time hours left in order for us to like truly officially get there by the end of the year. I think we could definitely do it. So if you guys want to tell a friend next time when I'm live, that, you know, they could come in and chill over on the Twitch side of things. I apologize for running so many ads, but the ads make up for, you know, barely any like subs or any other kind of revenue. If you have that Twitch Prime sub, you guys can definitely use that over on Twitch, where basically it's free for me, free for you. You don't really have to spend too much, and anyway, it is September, so you do get a discount on subs for September. But yeah, that's the only reason why I have to play like multiple ads over on the Twitch side of things. Over on YouTube, I do love you guys. I'm not sure when I'm gonna go live again. But please keep a lookout on Discord, on social media at Marie_Shadows, for any of the news of when I go live or whatever the case may be. But I'll catch you guys on Discord. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys next time.